remember how the whole draft process went where teams wanted to work him out at wide receiver. And listen, I can't imagine what that would feel like, to win a Heisman Trophy as a quarterback at your position, and then all of a sudden you get to the combine and you go through the draft process and you have teams telling you that you're not good enough. You have teams telling you that you have to play another position. I mean, obviously I think that's where the ultimate chip from Jackson comes from, but it's just, I think every single time Lamar Jackson still goes on the field, and he brings up in press conferences all the time, he's trying to prove the doubters wrong that he is indeed a quarterback.
Yeah, and I guess I mean it from a little bit more of a materialistic point of view.
Sure.
I understand that, and I think that's fascinating too. Like, what keeps Tom Brady going? I mean, again, he's already got GOAT status. What does he need? Like, what's he trying to prove? I can do it without Bill Belichick, maybe, but what keeps him going? I'm not even sure that's at the top of the list. I think we make that up as the top of the list. So I'm all sorts of things, but I think from a materialistic point, like, what would Tom Brady get? Like you do that with, like, what are you going to get your dad, or what are you going to get your wife, or what does she need? What is Tom Brady like? What could make him go like, oh, that's awesome? Yeah. And from a materialistic kind of point of view, it's got to be a very short list. And that's what got me today, I guess, seeing Lamar Jackson's reaction to it. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, he appreciates it. That's kind of a neat, genuine reaction. Again, I think there is a little bit of marketing, but I think it comes across to a young athlete like that's a big deal, and I can believe that.
Well, without a doubt. I mean, if you're a kid and you're into football, you played Madden, and every single year there's a new guy in the cover, and like they were the elite of the elite. Now, I mean, when you got Vince Young on a cover one year and you got Peyton Hillis on another year, well, they're not always first-round picks, okay?
Yeah.
Sometimes some guys fall through the cracks, and it is what it is. You think Peyton Hillis most
obscure?
With all due respect to Peyton Hillis,
Most obscure?
Yeah, most obscure.
Here's what's, yes, probably to answer your question. I don't know. Honestly, I couldn't list everybody, but I think you're right. Like, it wasn't like Calvin Johnson's been on has he been on it? I feel like he might have been. But listen,
Calvin Johnson has, back in 2012.
I would say Peyton Hillis is definitely, the most obscure. Here's the thing, and this is something we're going to talk about a little bit today. If Gardner Minshew has a really good season, why not?
Ooh. Yeah.
Well, what's the difference? What did Hillis do? Hillis wasn't the best player in the NFL.
Didn't he lead the league in rushing before he got the cover? I'm pretty sure he did.
He may have, but nobody in their right mind would have said, you still would have picked Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady and all these other people. Like, he wasn't even, remind me of Hillis. I understand it was out of the blue, but like, he didn't have like this cult following. Did he?
I mean, I remember we played against him the year after the Madden cover. I mean, he was a big deal. Let's go back to the stats real quick here. And kind of his story, too, man. The guy bounced around all over the league.
I know it was out of the blue.
Oh, I mean, let's see here.
But wouldn't have all those Denver guys have been on the cover all those years?
So back in 2010, rushed for 1,100 yards, 4.4 yards per carry.
There's no way he led the league in rushing with 1,100 yards.
No, but he had 11 touchdowns. I don't know.
You said it. Obscure. That's my point, though.
Yeah.
But like,
I mean, it's obscure. It's not legit.
And it's Cleveland, too. So if you're going to tell me small market team, relative team, Cleveland kind of, it might not be small market, but there haven't been a relative team, or, a relevant team for a long time. Not even as much as they are right now. So it was kind of like an out of the blue, out of left field pick, even with Hillis. And I got it. I mean, fantasy football wise, he became a thing. But my point being, Minshew doesn't have to win the MVP to put the stash on the cover of Madden.
You're absolutely right. I'm just saying, traditionally how it goes, though, is you have to have like an all-pro kind of year. Or you have to like take your team to the Super Bowl to get the cover of Madden. Like, obviously, Jackson this year. I mean, even if he didn't win MVP, probably was in the running to get it.
That's my point. But like, if you had a really good year,
correct.
I mean, what's the chance he wins MVP? Not very good. So, but if he had a really good year and kind of became that highlight guy on ESPN, a nice little fantasy play as well, because again, that's how you become a star now in the NFL. I mean, fantasy highlights, red zone, and they're showing him all the time, and he's already got the persona. Is my point. I don't think it's that far-fetched. We're going to talk about that a little bit today. Like, where would some of the Jags players rank on Madden? Which you'll know that way better than me.
Well, but I just want to say, like, who'd have like the highest like strength rating? Who would have the most agility? Do you think? Who would have the most awareness?
Has there ever been somebody in a Jags uniform that would be worthy of the cover?
Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, I would think my first. When I'm talking that sentence out, I say Jalen Ramsey and Maurice Jones-Drew.
Yeah, I mean,
because Maurice Jones-Drew.
Sure.
What you don't remember about Maurice Jones-Drew, because you have to go back so far, is when fantasy football kind of hit this boom. Like, it was in its infancy, and I don't really know how infant, but it certainly hit a new level. And as it's hitting this new level, Mojo's scoring touchdowns and touchdowns and touchdowns. And Mojo becomes this household name. And he would look good on a cover of Madden. I mean, no different. Like, he would have been more worthy
than Peyton
Hillis in terms of the sense of, like, fantasy football people loved him.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
I think even more than Hillis did. But Hillis was kind of this folk hero kind of story for a bit.
Yeah.
And that's where, like, a Minshew might fit in with good play. I agree with you, though. I think Jalen, I think Maurice Jones-Drew, probably about it.
Yeah, I mean, like, even defensive. So, like, for whatever reason, the cornerback position gets a little love in the secondary. Like, I remember Troy Polamalu's been on it. Richard Sherman's been on it, I think, maybe twice. Maybe
Sherman
once.
was on it twice?
Maybe twice. I can't remember. I think there was, like, 1 year where it was, like, a bunch of guys that were on it, if I'm not mistaken.
What hairstyle would Jalen have been on it in? I guess he would have a helmet on.
I'd probably have the helmet. You'd probably have the helmet on. Yeah, like, I mean, you could say Calais, but I don't think Calais is. Yeah,
I love Calais, but he's not going to be on the cover of.
And like,
you don't get those guys. Like Nick Bosa isn't getting the cover of Madden.
I mean, like, if Khalil Mack wasn't getting it when he was all pro at two positions.
If Aaron Donald hasn't got it, you're not getting it.
Yep.
So, I mean, you got to have a little bit, you got to have that folk hero status or superstardom. And I would even say Polamalu's case, he did kind of have that folk hero status.
Oh, yeah.
And he had the hair, man.
Yeah.
That's a good cover.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and keep in mind, too, they went to the Super Bowl that year, too, that came out. Because it was Polamalu, I think Larry Fitzgerald then was like the co-cover of it. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. I wasn't even really thinking of it until you brought it up. And when you bring up Hillis, a guy like Minshew does come to mind for me. It's a long shot, but it would be really interesting. Well, as we left you yesterday, we talked a little Major League Baseball. We talked about Major League Baseball in terms of the steroid era and McGwire and Sosa and others. And, man, it just kept heating up last night. And it's just a mess in Major League Baseball. I mean, it's a mess. It's not, there's no end in sight. Jeff Passan had an incredible article. It's a long read, but if you had time to read it and you want to understand what's going on, I mean, it's very detailed and I think layman's terms too, because honestly, I don't get a lot of that stuff. Like, baseball is they have so many technical terms when it comes to the CBA and contracts, and I think all the leagues do, but baseball seems to have even more of that because there's so many levels filtering down to the minor leagues and the Rule 5 draft and all this stuff. It's very muddied up. I think he did a great job of explaining it and putting blame on both. The one thing about players coming out, and Bauer, if you saw him tweet, he's been very vocal. But I like the honesty. I think there's a level of honesty with Bauer. I also saw, like, Bryce Harper said, "What's up, Eagles?" Good tweet.
Yeah, I mean, they're all having a field day right now.
They are, but my point to them, and I was going to say this and I didn't, is they're not void of blame here. They are not. They're not void of blame. They are digging in just as much as the owners are digging in because of the dollars in a time where most people believe it's not the correct timing to dig in. So do not mistake this. The players are to blame in this as well. Both sides are to blame in this. And I think if you read Passan's article, I think it presents that in both ways. Now, you can side with one or the other. That's okay. But this is not just the fault of Manfred and the owners, although Manfred looks like a clown in this. I mean, he really does.
But at the end of the day, who's trying to run the show here? Okay, like, this isn't, I mean, yes, the players are the lifeblood of the league. But Manfred is the guy that runs the show, okay? He's the boss. He's the CEO.
He is, but he's the boss of the owners.
Okay, well, he's the commissioner of baseball.
He is. He's Goodell. Right. It's like Goodell's not going to side with the players if he has the owners telling him one thing.
But listen, I think right now with Manfred, he has lost the players. I mean, like, listen.
I think so, too.
And it's not uncommon. Like, listen, even when
man. Last week he said 100%. Yesterday he said not 100%.
Even when I played, like, there's obviously a little bit of for Roger Goodell. Like, that's always going to be there from players.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he's starting to come over to the player side a little bit, but I think most players would say that Roger Goodell still, kind of rubs some people the wrong way. That's fair enough. And I think, Stern might be a different story when I don't know. I don't know. How do you feel about David Stern back in the day?
Yeah, I didn't. I'm sure. I think they had their beefs at times, but I didn't see it like these guys. Not like Goodell, and not like now Manfred.
Yeah. So with that being said, I mean, it seems like he's just lost it. Like he's absolutely lost the league. He's lost the respect of players. And once again, you're always going to have that a little bit. But to me, like, they don't respect him at all. They're treating him like a substitute teacher right now.
Well, part of the reason they're treating him like that, though, I believe, is they have galvanized together and they said, we are going to go lockstep, whether you agree or not. You know how this works. Yeah. You've been in a players' union, and you might not always agree, but you're doing it for the good of overall, of everybody else, for the next guy coming in. You're doing it because we have to be strong together, and that's what Major League Baseball players are doing right now. I can't imagine all these players agree with every single thing going on and the stance that they took right away and the fact that this is playing out in the public. I mean, one player said, I forget who it was, said, I'm embarrassed to be a Major League Baseball player. Well, that's not just because of the commissioner. That's because you guys, owners, players, commissioner, have put yourselves in this bickering position where nothing is getting done. And we all said way back in March, the only thing that you can't do, Major League Baseball, is come off like all you care about is money. Well, here we are in the middle of June, and all it looks like the Major League Baseball players and owners and commissioner care about is the right to the money.
Absolutely. But I'm just saying, even when we had our lockout, it wasn't like we were verbally going after Raj Goodell the whole time.
True.
You know, we didn't have roast sessions where every MLB player is putting out gifts, and trying to make fun of Manfred. Like, we weren't doing that. We were trying to, take more of a stance like, hey, let's get on the same page here. We're not going to waste our energy talking about Raj Goodell because no matter what you say about him, it's not going to solve the issue. With Manfred, it's just like, man, forget it. I'm over it. Like, forget this guy. Everybody, let's get on Twitter and tell him how we feel about it.
And from a perception standpoint, because they're doing that, it looks like Manfred is really the guy, the clown in this, the guy that's wrong in this, and the guy. And to a degree, they're right. My point is, players are not void of blame here. They are not. I mean, it has been a part of it, and this just wasn't the time and place in Major League Baseball. Here we are. But I said some things yesterday. I'll reiterate a little bit. I still think the narratives out there about saving baseball, next generation, all this stuff is so over-dramatized. We'll talk a little bit about Major League Baseball. What's the latest on that front? All the commissioners were on ESPN last night. It was an interesting show. I didn't watch it front to back, but I thought it was just the concept was interesting. And Adam Silver had some things to say as well, although I don't know if he revealed a whole heck of a lot as the NBA tries to get back to action. And we're going to take a break. When we come back, something I want to start with college football. Yesterday it played out, and one of the best backs in the country called out his coach. Now they made a video that was a little staged. Okay, a lot staged.
A little.
And now we've seen this 3 separate times and maybe more in the last week and a half. Talked college football last week in the state of Florida and how the right for endorsements and now college athletes could look like they're going to get paid. Maybe there's a bigger thing that's happened in the last couple of weeks. The voice of the player. Where that was taboo, man, before you could not come against your coach. You might be running sprints. You might not play as much. Heck, you might get your scholarship taken away. Now, these are big-time players doing this, but still, the voice of the player is as loud as it's been in quite some time, maybe ever, in college athletics and college football. Talk a little bit about it next. Is it good or bad on ESPN 690?
Action Sports Jags with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Another very nice day today under mostly to partly sunny skies. Highs just 80 to 85. Join me beginning at 5 p.m. for CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax from the First Alert Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, with the guaranteed lowest diamond prices in North Florida. Beards Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center.
Diamonds Direct celebrates the reopening of our local economy with our most amazing offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest financing with no money down on anything and everything. Yes, Now, for a limited time, Diamonds Direct is doing our part to help you get back to normal and celebrate your love like never before. Our prices and values are the best ever. Our showcases are fully stocked, and we're letting you buy now with nothing down, and you can spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest. Been putting off that engagement? Get her a $6,000 designer ring now and pay just $100 a month. Did you miss celebrating that anniversary? How about a $3,000 Diamond Eternity Band for just $50 a month? Summer is the season for love, and we're doing all we can to make this summer one to remember with exceptional values, extra selection, and the most exceptional finance opportunity. 5 years, 0 interest on approved credit. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Off Town Center Parkway.
I call them 3 shirt days. That's when the summer heat in Jacksonville just sizzles. It's relentless, and you want to be prepared for it. Bold City Heating and Air will help you do that. Nothing worse than sweating in your own home and wondering, hey, what happened to the AC? We've been there before. Your air conditioning unit needs to be ready for the heat. It might need to get serviced. The hot weather is here, and Bold City Heating and Air is here for you, just like they have been for my family the last couple of years. Right now, it's $25 off an annual maintenance. Bold City will thoroughly service, clean, and test your system to ensure it is working efficiently. Then you'll be comfortable this summer. All summer. After the $25 off, it's just $70. Book your maintenance service now and save. Save now, beat the heat. Visit boldcityac.com or call 904-379-1648 to schedule. Mirza and his staff are ready to take care of you and your family. Be bold and beat the heat and make it a one-shirt day, even in the summer heat. Go to boldcityac.com.
For the ones we trust to always be there. For the ones caring for others. For the ones who keep things going, no matter where they are. In extraordinary times, extraordinary people step up, like the ones standing guard and standing on the front lines, and the ones who are staying apart while still working together. With your efforts, we will get through this. We're grateful for all you do. Visit Grainger.com for resources that can help as you create your recovery plan. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm Thea Jeffers, owner of Breezy Jazz Club and T-Works Interior Decorating. It doesn't matter where you come from, it's possible to own your own business. But starting a business isn't easy. The Jacksonville Women's Business Center helped give me the confidence to keep going when the going got tough. At JWBC, I got the training, networking, and support I needed to help me reach my goals. To find out more about how JWBC can help you, visit jaxwbc.com.
Nobody wants tax problems, and lives have certainly changed in the last couple of months. So let me tell you about J. David Tax Law. They are here to help you and your business with tax debt issues during the pandemic. Tax problems can be stressful, especially right now. If you owe a tax debt, there are new programs available that can help reduce or eliminate your IRS or sales tax burden. But here's the deal. The programs expire on July 15th, so don't wait. That's coming soon. Get the help you need with tax debt, payroll taxes, bank levies, wage garnishments, tax liens, and unfiled returns. With stimulus packages being distributed, the IRS will be collecting an unprecedented amount of tax debt to fund this historic initiative. J. David Tax Law only has experienced tax attorneys that will represent you. You want to be able to walk in and talk to someone and look them right in the eye when it comes to your taxes. J. David Tax Law is someone you can trust. If you have federal or state sales tax debt, have a sit down with J. David Tax Law. Your first step is a no-cost consultation. Call J. David Tax Law 904-507-4777, 904-507-4777, or go to jdavidtaxlaw.com.
Unlike other jewelry stores, at Beard's Diamonds, nobody is paid on commission.
We don't believe in the commission structure.
That's Beard's Diamonds' second generation Ben Lupo. For nearly 40 years, Beard's has never had one employee paid on commission. And that's just one small thing that sets Beard's Diamonds apart from the competition.
We don't want our employees picking and choosing who they help or judging which customer is going to spend the most. That's not what we're about.
At Beard's, the diamond experts will show you the inside secrets of the jewelry business and teach you how to buy like a dealer buys.
We are not just about selling. We are about helping. If you deliver a quality product, listen to the consumer's needs, and help them make the best decision, then what do you have to sell? The diamond will speak for itself.
Beard's Diamonds, where honesty and integrity are the core beliefs.
It's our commitment to you to keep you protected and make sure you get what you paid for.
Beard's Diamonds, open 7 days a week in the St. John's Town Center and at beardsdiamonds.com. Now more than ever, you need the open road. Windows down, wind in your hair, pure freedom. Then go see our friends over at Arlington Toyota, because their massive construction sale was made to put you behind the wheel today. Think you can't afford a new ride? Think again. At Arlington, you choose 0 down with low payments or no payments until 2021. Get to Arlington today where you can drive away in a Toyota RAV4 XLE for $285 a month with 0 down or no payments until 2021. That's a pre-owned RAV4 for $285 a month with 0 down or no payments till 2021. How about a Toyota Tacoma for $285 a month with 0 down or no payments until 2021? We're talking about a pre-owned Tacoma for $285 a month with 0 down or no payments till 2021. Plus, with Arlington's Credit for Everyone program, if your Beacon score is from 450 to 850, Arlington's getting almost everyone approved. And you get Arlington's 30-day exchange policy on any vehicle you purchase. As always, your safety is Arlington's priority. Go see them today, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit Arlington Toyota /June offers for full details.
After a long day, having my dogs greet me at the door with their silly smiles and wagging tails makes me happy. I want to keep that joy with me for years to come. That's why I trust Forever Vets Animal Hospital to keep my pets healthy. Forever Vets was voted 2019's Best Vet in Jacksonville Magazine's Readers Poll, and it's easy to see why. The affordable wellness plans are tailored to meet all of your pet's changing needs as they grow. Open 7 days a week, Forever Vets friendly staff is available to treat you and your pet with care. They combine extended hours with online booking to allow you to give your pet quality care while accommodating your schedule. Go online to forevervets.com to find which of their 9 locations is nearest you. And don't forget their newest location in Bartram Market. Forever Vets Animal Hospital, keeping your pets happy and healthy forever.
Struggling to find something awesome for Dad this Father's Day? Let ESPN 690 help. We are giving away a $150 gift card to Fogo de Chao. For your chance to win, go to ESPN690.com.
Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jax.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anna Jar and Levine studio.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
In light of today's tweet with the t-shirt I was wearing, I've met with some players and realized it's a very sensitive issue with what's going on in today's society. And so we had a great meeting and made aware of some things that players feel like that can make our organization, our culture even better than it is here at Oklahoma State. And I'm looking forward to making some changes, and it starts at the top with me, and we got good days ahead.
Don't give away your thoughts on that.
It looked like a ransom video. I'm sorry, but it did. It did. It looked like they were being held there against their will. All I'm going to say. I'm going to say some more, but go ahead, Brett.
That's your reaction to the Mike Gundy video, called out for wearing a shirt over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Was it OAN?
OAN, correct.
I got to be honest with you, man. This will tell you how much I pay attention to politics and watch those kind of channels.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it wasn't really on my radar. Like, I may have come across, like, an article with them one time, but I completely forgot about it. So, yeah, it wasn't on my radar either.
So, Chuba Hubbard, which is just a fantastic name.
Chuba, right? Or is it Chuba? Yeah. I mean, first of all, a first-round pick coming up for sure at running back, probably. If he doesn't get, like, Chuba Bubblicious bubble gum.
I wanted to call him Chuba.
Yeah. That's what can you imagine the marketing, though, if it was Chuba? You're good, though, man. I like Chuba. Call him Chuba.
I was thinking it and said it.
You're all good.
But he led the nation in rushing last year.
Yeah, he's good.
And he is a legit player. And much like Marvin Wilson, who's a legit player for Florida State, coming out and saying what he said at Mike Norvell, I mean, it's a big voice.
Mm-hmm.
Hubbard calls out Gundy. And I will say this to Oklahoma State's credit, to the athletic director, to Gundy's credit, to whoever, I don't even know who deserves the credit, but same with Florida State, Norvell, Florida State. Man, they got these things quick. Like, they did not let it linger.
Sure.
And that is one positive, because Florida State, in my opinion, has kind of recovered from it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's almost been a positive for Florida State. They had a unity walk in Tallahassee on Saturday. But anyway, Hubbard calls out Gundy for wearing the shirt. And then they do this video against this wall, and it is so...
Cowboy culture, by the way, in the back.
It is so obviously staged and recorded, and I don't know. I mean, listen, some people are better at it. It was purposefully... recorded to send out there. So, but it was almost so scripted, you know, and it came across as scripted.
Yeah. Was
it hollow? Did they handle it right? Is there any other way to do it? I mean, if you say a statement's a statement.
So,
what do you feel about, first of all, because then we'll get into the voice of the college athlete, but what do you feel about this situation versus some of the other ones we've seen?
You know what? I mean... Like we've talked about before right now, Brent, everything is hypersensitive, okay? And when everything's hypersensitive, you have to have a little awareness to you, okay? So when you wear an OAN T-shirt, which is obviously very, pro-Republican and pro-Trump, and if that's your beliefs, that's fine. But you have to understand that if you wear that shirt on a fishing trip, and obviously people take pictures, well, you got to read the room. Like, how can you be so good at reading defenses and being this offensive mastermind, but you can't read the room with your own team? But you can't foresee, if you rock an OAN shirt, that a lot of players in that locker room who are black are going to be very disappointed and very offended with that. Like, I can't get how you can't see that coming, right? So Hubbard calls him out, and you know what? Should he have gone man-to-man? Maybe, okay? Like, obviously, when I was in college, it was a different time. Twitter wasn't really even a thing yet. It was still in fruition. So, like, I can see the point of Hubbard maybe apologizing, saying, hey, I should have went to him as a man. I shouldn't have, brought our business out there.
That's fair.
The Oklahoma State business out on Twitter. But the one thing that rubs me the wrong way, I mean, everything kind of rubs me the wrong way with this video because it's just, once again, looks like a ransom video. But I don't like how Hubbard had to apologize, but Mike Gundy didn't apologize at all. He said that he had to take the voice of his locker room seriously, and he had to have better optics or whatever. But not one time during that video did Mike Gundy apologize.
I thought the same thing.
Why was Hubbard apologizing?
I thought the same thing. I thought it was very lukewarm, hollow from Gundy's side. Mm-hmm. I thought it was bigger of Chuba Hubbard to be able to do that. Mm-hmm. I thought he was the winner there. Oklahoma State probably feels like they're a winner there. But I agree with you on the Gundy side. I felt like Gundy was doing this because this is the next step of doing this.
Yeah.
It's like, first you have to admit you have a problem, mm-hmm. and that was his admission that he messed up, mm-hmm. But is it genuine? I don't think so. It will go back to, well, I'm still the boss, man, and now you're going to have to run 10 sprints when we get back to work.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that. I didn't think it was good. I didn't think it was well done. And that brings up an interesting part of it, right? If you're going to do this stuff and you're going to try to rectify the situation, well, you have to be pretty darn good on that part and make it feel genuine. Mm-hmm. See, when Florida State had their situation, Florida State's athletic director was on a video, and I think he was talking to the board of trustees, and you could tell he was uncomfortable. Like, he was First of all, he admitted, he's like, listen, I don't like speaking in front of people on this. I'm not comfortable doing it. He kind of said it in the thing, but you could also tell it was pretty genuine. It was really, I think, well done given the situation. Now, people can still choose to believe or not and be skeptical. That's fine. But I agree with you, man. If you're going to do it, like, the only thing that it was like, get us to the handshake as quick as we can.
I know. And even the handshake, it's just like, man, nothing about that seemed genuine to me.
It did.
Right? And in a world right now where we rely on being genuine, right? Like, we have receipts. We pull out receipts all the time, and we call when things look fake to us. That, to me, looked fake.
Yeah.
Okay? Listen, and if you're Mike Gundy, and listen, you know who Mike Gundy's personality is, Brent, right? I mean, he's the guy, if you want to fight me, I'm a grown man. And it seems like he has his players' best interest in mind. But you better believe, like, Gundy must have called whoever, the PR's like, hey, I got a great idea. Let's go ahead and stand in front of the cowboy culture sign, and we're all going to make this go away. We're going to put the Band-Aid over it. Everyone's going to love it. It's going to be over social media, and we're going to be fine. And that's not how things work, Brent. When things aren't genuine, when things are manufactured just to try to appease everybody, you come off looking worse than you did when you went into it.
That's the thing. And you got to be really careful, especially right now. I think Florida State has moved on for the better. We'll see where Oklahoma State is. You got to remember, too, and not like Mike Norvell had earned anything just yet, but like a lot of people think Mike Gundy is one of the biggest frauds going in college athletics, college football. Like, what's he done? Right? Yeah. I mean, that's what a lot of people think. I mean, there are some scathing articles about Mike Gundy now. You know, for a bit, he was kind of he was that fun guy, the personality, from the mullet to the fun quotes here or there, and then to the, I'm a 40-year-old man, you know. And
he's almost more like a character than he is really like an accomplished college football coach.
But like Mike Leach is a character, and he hasn't won national titles, but he's accomplished a lot, it seems like. Like he has almost over-exceeded expectations at places he's been. I think it's clear as day. A lot of people think Gundy has underachieved at Oklahoma State, but been given a lot of rope to do so. And a lot of folks thought this could be it for him. Yeah. And doesn't look like it's going to be the case, at least not yet. We'll see if this cools things down for him and what potentially could have been a hot seat.
And you look at the situation in Florida State, you know, Mike Norvell, one could say his situation was a lot worse. Okay, because this was over a T-shirt, and say what you want about it. Mike Norvell, he kind of lied about reaching out.
Got called out for lying, yeah.
Got called out for lying, you know, and I think in today's world right now, we would say that's a bigger deal. But at the same time, I think Mike Norvell handled it so much better. You know, like we're not really talking about right now, oh, could you believe that Florida State stuff? Like we're kind of past that now, right? And it wasn't a cheesy video of Mike Norvell and players standing in front of each other. Like it was, to me, what happened with that is he got in front of the team, and they hashed everything out, and there were some pretty probably powerful discussions.
I bet.
Some uncomfortable discussions. But they found a common ground. And now, to be fair, I've seen Mike Norvell at, you know, different protests and different walks and things like that. Like, he's out in the community doing his thing, you know? And we'll see what happens with Oklahoma State Cowboys now and Mike Gundy. But I'm just saying, like, if you think one video and one handshake, hey, we're all good to go, man, you got another thing coming.
It'll be something to watch because how it goes forward at Oklahoma State. I think because there's a lot of folks, I believe, if you look into it, that are not huge fans of him anyway and think that he's been there long enough anyhow. But it goes to the bigger issue. So that's that specific situation. But we did see Marvin Wilson. We do now see Chuba Hubbard. And by the way, Hubbard, again, I don't think he's like, it's Oklahoma State, and sometimes we don't celebrate the guy that leads the NCAA in rushing like we celebrate the guy that leads the NFL in rushing, right? Even if he's not from your team. I'm not sure how many people, quite frankly, knew before this week Hubbard led the nation in rushing. Knew he was good and was a prospect, but I don't know about leading the nation in rushing.
Especially at Oklahoma State, where they're obviously a pass-happy team, it seems like.
But bottom line is, he had big numbers, and he's a star there, and he calls out his coach. Marvin Wilson is a top 10 pick. He is a beast, man. He is a player. And he came back. He could have gone in the first round this year. He came back, and he called out his coach. And I saw something recently with him, said, hey, I don't know if I was, like, as I wrote it and said it, he's like, oh, this is going to be bad. He's like, but there's only two ways it could be. It's either going to go bad or it's going to go good.
Sure.
And he didn't even anticipate it being good, but he was doing it anyway. So the voice of the college athlete, here it comes. Yeah. And it's not going to stop. The Iowa coach, the strength and conditioning coach, fired, gone. Settlement they reached. Dabo Swinney, maybe the best coach in America. Resume certainly indicates that he's right up there with Nick Saban. And some people, at least in South Carolina, would probably say he's better right now and what he's been able to do. He gets called out. Now, that was by a former player. And he's now since been, people have come to his defense as well, which probably says a lot about Dabo Swinney as the head coach and maybe as a man and how people view him. But wow. I mean, that is three big-time universities, two big-time players, one big-time coach, and you could probably say a couple of big-time coaches. Is this the new wave? Is this going to stop? I mean, are we going to see it in other sports? Could we see it in basketball? Could we see it in even some of the non-revenue sports? Does the college kid now have a voice?
You know, it's one of those instances, and I know Chris Conley doesn't like us saying it, but this is where sports can mirror society a little bit, right? Because if you have a Facebook page, if you have a Twitter page, and you see somebody with a restaurant or some kind of business, they use something that's bad, you post that out, give your thoughts, and all of a sudden it spreads like wildfire. Now take that to the nth degree with college athletes, right? Where they have more of a platform. They have more of a spotlight, especially, the guys that are going to play at the next level. I mean, they're even more on that platform, even more with the spotlight. Yeah, I mean, in terms of power right now and in terms of influence, it's never been higher, Brent. Absolutely not. And especially you have a country right now who is really just drawing the line in the sand of where they stand, right? And you can't tell anybody any differently. I'm talking about whether you're on one side or the other side. People right now are stuck in their ways, and they're super passionate about the cause regardless of what side you're on. And when you mix that, you throw it in the blender now with social media and college athletes speaking out, you better believe right now college athletes have more power than they ever have had before.
It's interesting. It's a lot like the kneeling protests and what's gone on with Kaepernick, right? No doubt, to some degree, in 16 and 17, when that was going on, people were afraid to say stuff because they were afraid of the backlash. They weren't going to share their true feelings. And some did. I'm not going to say no, but a lot of people wouldn't because they didn't want to get into it, quite frankly. There was no conversation to be had. They knew it was going to either be, yeah, man, I agree with you, or you're the worst person that's ever lived.
Correct.
For saying that.
I mean,
that was it.
As bad as it sounds, nothing really great could come of it. I mean, and that's really messed up to say, but that's the way it was.
There was no conversation.
Correct.
It was here or there, like you said, a line in the sand. Well, I feel like now, because the NFL and Roger Goodell said, hey, it's okay. Guys like Bill O'Brien said, hey, I'm kneeling too. Guys like J.J. Watt said, I'm kneeling too. And just the temperature and climate of our country right now in terms of what's going on has now made it okay to share your feelings. Kind of like what you said. It's like now people can say how they feel. And you know what? It's almost to the point where they don't care what the other side has to say.
Sure.
They don't care. They're not worried about it. If you don't want to have a conversation, go it. We don't care.
Yep.
Right? Well, it's kind of like this right now. I feel like in college football in these last few weeks. It's like you are not going to be suppressed of your feelings by a head coach who, on many accounts, we've said over the years, has more power than anybody maybe on college campuses, the president included. You take the Iowa program, for instance. They couldn't have social media. They couldn't voice their opinion. And a lot of that is because there are a few people that don't know how to use it and say stuff, and then the coach has to deal with it. You can see some of the logic in it.
Oh, for
but
sure.
At the same time, it suppresses maybe someone from sharing what they really want to share on an issue like this. Well, that's lifted. And that's a big moment, believe it or not, I would say, in Iowa football for Ferentz to do that and kind of be forced to do that. And now you have a guy like Hubbard and you have a guy like Wilson coming out and saying it, and it opens the door because of the way their coaches reacted. Like the way Norvell reacted is why I think they've moved on a little bit from it in a positive way. Not moved on to slide it under the rug, but because he said, you know what? I'm proud of Marvin for using his platform. I'm proud of him for saying it. He was right. That was his reaction. A little less of that from Gundy.
Yeah.
But the point being, because Norvell said it that way, almost all the coaches now have to respond that way. Well, they can't sit there and be like, you ain't saying that, man. What are you talking? Normal conversation a month and a half ago, if a kid said that, what do you think the conversation's like? Coach calls him up and be like, what the heck are you doing, man?
Yeah. Let's go and run some stadiums. We'll see you out there. Yeah, no.
It may be worse, right?
Sure.
You say, I'm the boss here. The ego comes into play and all that stuff. And ain't happening anymore.
Yeah.
And that's really interesting. That has changed in college sports for the moment. We'll see if it balloons into something bigger.
At the end of the day, we're starting to see people's true colors now, right? They're starting to come to the forefront. And I think with a case like Gundy, who didn't apologize, and a guy like Hubbard, who apologized, in my opinion, for no reason. Now, was he told to apologize? Did he want to apologize, set example for the team? Like, hey, guys, let's move past this. Let's get back on track here. Like, I'll take one for the team. I'll sit on the grenade and I'll apologize. Like, if it helps our team out, I'll do that. Not really sure. I know Hubbard's a really big team guy. All his teammates have kind of said that. Who knows? But my point is that every college athlete, whether you're a football player, basketball player, name your sport, they have a right to voice their concerns on social media, and here's why. because when you're a college coach and you're sitting in those athletes, and their parents, you're sitting in those dining rooms and you're having dinner with them and you're saying, I'm going to take care of him. I'm going to take him underneath my wing and he's going to be safe and we'll make sure that we take care of him. Well, if that kid has a discrepancy with the culture or how things are being ran, then go to Twitter. Hold those coaches accountable. Speak your piece. Whether it's right or wrong, say what you got to say. Because at the end of the day, those coaches talked to your family and said, I'm going to take care of him. But then if you wear a shirt on a fishing trip that's going to offend somebody, well, I'll be honest. If I'm a parent right now, I'm a little concerned. Not really from the fact that the coach wore a shirt, but I'm just concerned about, listen, man, what kind of operation you run Oklahoma State right now? Okay? Because I just saw my son issue this apology, and you didn't really accept anything. You didn't really step up to the plate and apologize as well. So, once again, we always preach these coaches for being father figures, for being mentors, but then you can't be mad at a player if he goes out and says, you know what? What's happening right now, I don't feel is right.
Yeah, I don't think, by the way, that Hubbard is apologizing for bringing it to light. I think he's apologizing for kind of the method of what he did.
He was apologizing for going on Twitter instead of going to
man-to-man and making it more of a public thing. But the bottom line is the way you change things right now is probably make it a public thing. Yeah. And what's the hesitation? Yeah, keep in mind, these guys did offer him scholarships. They're giving him scholarships. They're helping him get a free education. Not to say Hubbard wouldn't have one anywhere he would go. I mean, he's the leading rusher in the nation. But I also think it's like talking back to your mom and dad. For some it's easier, but for others it's not. Yeah. It doesn't seem right. But sometimes you have to.
You got to put your foot down. Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
At some point, sometimes you have to.
You're going to have that experience.
My kids aren't listening. But
Ty, you hear me, man? Go for the throat, dude. Don't lay down.
But that's the way I view this.
Yeah.
That's why if you look at Marvin Wilson after the fact and hear what he says, if you look at Hubbard after the fact, it's almost like they called out their mom and dad or dad. But they did it because they knew they were right.
Correct.
And they don't love the fact that they had to do it, but they thought it was necessary.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the way I view what they did, because you're right. I mean, these coaches are looked at sometimes as these father figures, but also leaders that you're not supposed to be. That's almost viewed as insubordination, from a command standpoint. So it's fascinating what's going on in college football. Now, again, we're not getting the fourth string punter doing this very much.
Yeah.
But it's cool that the stars are doing it when needed.
Yeah.
Because I also think you can go over the top on it if it's not necessarily needed. It has to be in the right spot. And I think for these guys, these two instances was the right spot. Depends how you feel about the T-shirt thing.
Sure.
Dabo got called out on the T-shirt thing, too, for a little bit. And I thought that was that was a little stretch. That stretched it a little bit to me. But temperature and feelings were really heated and intensified over the last couple of weeks. So I think that's why I did it.
And listen, and right now, too, in this environment, you're trying to raise young men. I mean, that's really the point. And Dabo Swinney's been the first guy to say it. I mean, he hasn't been the first guy, but he won't be the last guy either. Like, I'm raising young men for the future, right? Whether they're in the NFL or not, like, I'm trying to raise young men. Well, I mean, a message right now in society is like, listen, if you don't see something that you agree with, then speak up. Use your voice, use your platform. And guess what? That's what Hubbard did, So regardless if Hubbard, becomes that first-round pick or whatever happens in his NFL career, let's just say, he's a better man now having said, you know what? I don't agree with something. I'm using my platform. I'm going to speak out on it, and hopefully people can rally against me. Rally with me.
Absolutely. Let's take a quick break. We'll have Jason Fitz in a little bit. I got a question about wedding rings next. Kuz, you might want to hear this. It's coming up on ESPN 690. It'll just be a couple minutes. But,
okay.
I've been thinking of something. I don't get something. Speaking of, where's yours? You wear one? We'll get to the bottom of this.
I mean, get to the bottom of it right there. I got a broken finger. I can't fit a wedding ring around it.
Viable excuse?
Sorry, yeah. I just came from a local establishment and forgot to put it back on. What do you want me to tell you? I've never worn one.
ESPN 690.
Golic and Wingo.
That's your first mistake is leaving read receipts on. Don't do that to yourself. Friends out there, reach out to the screen and receive this blessing right now. Turn your read receipts off and vice versa. You don't need that mental warfare in your life.
Where are read receipts?
I'm going to do the Men in Black thing right now. We're just going to completely erase what just happened there from your thought process. Read receipts aren't a real thing to you.
Okay.
And that goes for everyone listening. Cool. Remove it from your life.
Golic and Wingo, weekdays at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN2.
If you don't have SafeTouch monitoring, there's a good chance your system is getting monitored from someone's home. Yes, work from home has come to the security industry, but not at SafeTouch Security. At SafeTouch, that is totally unacceptable and doesn't meet UL requirements. At SafeTouch Security, our monitoring center is committed to maintaining our high standards. The only guaranteed response in the alarm industry with an incredible 8-second average. And our two-way communicator provides the very fastest response from the emergency authorities for burglary, medical, and fire. And the SafeTouch crash and smash technology detects crime before it enters the property. Our halo of protection and SafeTouch cameras report crime before it happens many times. And every SafeTouch security system is custom designed for you and comes with our exclusive SafeTouch parts and labor agreement at no charge. SafeTouch security systems have a guaranteed response and are installed by real professionals. Know you and your family are safe and protected the right way. Go to safetouch.com right now for more information. SafeTouch, doing what others can't for over 35 years. State license number EF0000233.
I call them 3 shirt days. That's when the summer heat in Jacksonville just sizzles. It's relentless. Got to be prepared for it. Bold City Heating and Air will help you do that. Nothing worse than sweating in your own home and wondering, hey, what happened to the AC? We've been there before. Your air conditioning unit needs to be ready for the heat. It might need to get serviced. The hot weather is here, and Bold City Heating and Air is here for you, just like they have been for my family the last couple of years. Right now, it's $25 off an annual maintenance. Bold City will thoroughly service, clean, and test your system to ensure it is working efficiently. Then you'll be comfortable this summer. All summer. After the $25 off, it's just $70. Book your maintenance service now and save. Save now, beat the heat. Visit boldcityac.com or call 904-379-1648 to schedule. Mirza and his staff are ready to take care of you and your family. Be bold and beat the heat and make it a one-shirt day, even in the summer heat. Go to boldcityac.com.
The global coronavirus outbreak is stretching the coping capacity of even the best prepared countries. Yet the world has barely begun to come to grips with how coronavirus threatens the world's poorest communities. Send a care package at carepackage.org to those who need it most. These care packages will ensure hygiene supplies, hand washing stations, and drinkable water gets to people most in need. Visit carepackage.org to send a care package today.
Been dreaming of Subway tile and butcher block counters? Outdoor kitchens and pavers?
Oh, honey.
The weather's great and it's time to knock out those nagging home projects with a Honeydew HELOC from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Borrow up to 90% loan to value and pay no closing costs. Best of all, we'll give you a free wheelbarrow. That's right, a free wheelbarrow. Apply today at 1to1fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA. Just please, no more shiplap.
Alexa, how do I drive more customers into my business?
First, people will need to hear about you. Then you need to be online where they look for you. Then you need to be involved in the community. Then you need to...
Whoa. I don't have time for that. I need to run my business.
Okay, searching for a local team that can help.
Local Solutions, your local marketing team putting you at the top of mind. Visit JacksonvilleLocalSolutions.com today and let us take your business to the next level. Local Solutions, powered by Cox Media Group. Marketing solved.
Jackson This Together is not just a hashtag. We believe it, and we are living it, all of us. Hey everyone, this is Brent Martineau. These may be uncertain times, but we can still lift each other up, share a laugh, a smile, and even a shout out. If you would like to recognize someone, maybe a healthcare worker, a truck driver, someone who works for a local restaurant, or maybe it's someone's birthday, call ** 690. Leave a message and we will share it on ESPN 690. That's ** 690. Give it a call and help make somebody's day.
Hey, I'm Jay DeMarcus from Rascal Flats, and this is Action Sports Jags.
For us, we feel this is what we do. We put on NBA basketball. We think that for the country, it'll be a respite from enormous difficulties people are dealing with in their lives right now. And I also think in terms of social justice issues, it'll be an opportunity for NBA players in the greater community to draw attention to these issues, because the world's attention will be on the NBA in Orlando, Florida, if we're able to pull this off.
That is Adam Silver, NBA commissioner, last night on ESPN. I didn't think he was overly revealing. I think Manfred had some of the quotes, and Goodell had a quote about Kaepernick. But I thought Silver was kind of benign in his commentary. I mean, and I really have a lot of respect for Silver. I think he's good. I was almost expecting more from him. It's weird. I mean, he's so good. I think he almost disappointed me last night. I thought there was more that he might say, but it also showed a lot. That they had Dame Lillard on with Silver for a couple of minutes. Because didn't that show a lot in terms of how the players and commissioner kind of get along in the NBA? Yep. Way more than anyone else. I almost wonder if the NBA asked for it to be like that. Because it shows, I'm not going to say they're lockstep, right? They're not. But there is a certain level of respect that I think all organizations, all leagues probably envy about the NBA.
Without a doubt. And to go back to the Adam Silver interview, I mean, that just goes to show you that you are the man because you don't have to say anything. And it's like, like that guy's respected right there. Like that guy's name means something. Like that name commands respect and admiration. So, yeah, even though Adam Silver didn't really give us anything really good, like soundbite wise, you could tell that, obviously, with Damian Lillard, who's been very outspoken, about the whole process, which has been happening with the playoffs starting back up. I mean, it shows a lot because if anyone's got a gripe right now with the NBA, it's Lillard, okay? And the fact that he met with the commissioner in a peaceful way, in a way that wasn't, just, you're wrong. I mean, it was refreshing, I thought. And if you switch up the thing a little bit with like NFL players or baseball players, it'd be different.
Not going to lie, I expected more out of Lillard, too. He was kind of wishy-washy the whole time in his commentary. Well, I can see this and I can see that. He didn't really take a hard line.
I thought he was going to drop a new rap album or something on ESPN.
All right, I got a serious question. Okay, it's not that. Well, it is a serious question.
Yeah.
I see more of these rubber wedding bands.
Where you been, man?
On people.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's not, I just catching on. But I saw it on a 57-year-old man the other day that looks like George Washington. And I was like, what is going on here? Is this like the thing? I'm like, what are we doing? I didn't even know it was on only the ring. Like, I thought it was like a cover that you put on your normal wedding ring.
Yeah.
Are wives okay with this? Like, wives are pretty sentimental now. I mean, doesn't that like gold band? Like, I lost. This is my second wedding ring. So, doesn't it? Does it cheapen anything? I mean, I guess this is okay.
I think don't ask me because I don't wear one. So,
you can't hear you,
Coos. You can't hear you, Coos.
Oh, good call.
Yep. Push the button on yourself. There you go.
I turned my own mic off.
Yeah.
No, but there's a lot of places that'll do like, if you buy her wedding band, you get his wedding band free. So at that point...
Yeah, you're shopping, so you know.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. If mine's free, then why can't I just get a plastic one?
You know what's interesting about, like, I always thought even the men's ring wedding band would be way more expensive than it was because you have in your mind, like, wedding ring, engagement ring, it's so expensive.
Yeah.
But, like, the wedding ring wasn't nearly, I'm sure you can get them very expensive, but, like, mine wasn't super, super expensive.
Yeah.
I thought they'd be more. So I don't think it's a cost thing. Is it a look thing? Is it I don't want to damage it thing?
So
I mean, I do beat my ring up quite a bit.
But I have like an irrational fear of getting it caught on something. Like Jimmy Fallon did it. Remember? Like he got it caught and it like ripped his whole finger off.
Yeah.
I have like a real fear of that.
So like if you live like a super active lifestyle, when you're in the gym and stuff like that. Like,
so why is Kuz mad?
Got him!
I'm just saying, the idea of it terrifies me.
Hey, Brent, if you're drinking a beer and you somehow ding it, like, who knows what can happen?
You're playing that video game.
You throw the controller too hard, it rips your finger off.
If you're tweeting at Nancy Kaiser.
But no, the whole point is, like, it's geared towards the active lifestyle guys. Like, hey, are you active and rugged and drive a Jeep Wrangler? And go ahead and get one of these, these rubber rings.
I'd imagine for like surfers too. Like, if you're gonna go out surfing, you probably don't want to wear that.
And that's legit. Like, a lot of people lose their wedding ring on their honeymoon, like in the ocean.
Yeah,
I'm definitely gonna do that.
Exactly. But once again, who I mean, when's the last time a group of guys got together like, hey, dude, let me check out that wedding ring, man. That's awesome. Like, it's just nobody cares. I
knew the guys.
Yeah, go ahead.
The guys didn't care about it. I just wondered about like if the women care about it.
Oh, I got you. Well, my wife obviously doesn't.
And you're gonna tattoo it up?
I'm gonna probably tattoo it up eventually. Yeah, because I can't wear jewelry, man. I can't wear rings. I can't wear watches.
Hey, how about if that's weird. Where I get my tattoo? It's like ESPN 690 instead of Steph's name.
So you're kind of married to the show. I mean, hey, I love the commitment. And one more thing, I don't want to tell Action Sports Jax how to do your whole marketing thing. But you mentioned George Washington. For like your next, like, you know, when you guys come in for the intro, have that George Washington fellow in the front, like he's crossing the Delaware River. You know, like this, and you guys in the back. Yeah, have him like leading because he has the most tenure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna buy that dog outfit too for him from yesterday's show. Hey, Jason Fitch scheduled to join us next when we come back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Give me some of that Kuz.
It's unreal.
That's the most impressive thing Kuz has ever done.
Oh, without a doubt.
Here on the show.
That was very nice.
It's the best use of star 690 ever.
Listen weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. in your car or stream them. ESPN690.com.
Hotter weather means drinking more water. Stay hydrated with clean water. With a Kinetico system from CGC Water, you can remove up to 99% of contaminants. Now that's clean. And that's what we did at our house, and it's been awesome. CGC Water wants to say thank you to all the frontline workers keeping our communities safe and moving forward. Visit cgcwater.com and nominate a frontline worker who is putting community before self. Help us thank them. A random nominee will be selected, winning a K5 water drinking system, providing delicious, contaminant-free water to a hero on the front lines. CGC Water tests tap water as well, giving you a better understanding of what's in your water. It's free, and there's no obligation to buy anything. Schedule your water test and get peace of mind knowing your water is safe and clean. Visit cgcwater.com and join us in thanking our frontline heroes. cgcwater.com. Serving Northeast Florida and Southeastern Georgia. CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Kinetico dealer.
Now more than ever, you need the open road. Windows down, wind in your hair, pure freedom. Then go see our friends over at Arlington Toyota, because their massive construction sale was made to put you behind the wheel today. Think you can't afford a new ride? Think again. At Arlington, you choose 0 down with low payments or no payments until 2021. Get into Arlington today where you can drive away in a new Toyota Corolla for $199 a month with 0 down or no payments till 2021. That's a pre-owned Corolla for $199 down with 0 down or no payments until 2021. How about a Toyota Camry for $249 a month with 0 down or no payments till 2021? That's a pre-owned Camry for $249 a month with nothing down or no payments till 2021. Plus, with Arlington's Credit for Everyone program, if your Beacon score is from 450 to 850, Arlington's getting almost everyone approved. And you get Arlington's 30-day exchange policy on any vehicle you purchase. As always, your safety is Arlington's priority. Go see them today, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit Arlington Toyota/June offers for full details.
It's time for some straight talk. Even though most live sports are on hold now, big wireless companies haven't stopped playing games. They're always trying to lock you into overpriced contracts. With Straight Talk Wireless, there are no contracts. It runs on America's best network, same as the big carriers, but you save up to 50%. $45 a month gets you the unlimited plan with 25 gigs of high-speed data, then 2G. You might miss sports, but don't play games, you'll lose. Straight Talk Wireless. No contracts, no compromise.
Savings may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
At AutoZone, we've always been here to help you get what you need to go where you need. That hasn't changed. Needing some battery help? We've got you. Whether it's a free battery test or a free charge, we can help you get started again. And if it's time for a replacement, we've got a full selection of batteries starting at $79.99. That's why we're America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone. Based on data from the MPD Group Incorporated, Car Care Track, 12 months ending December 2019.
Hey everybody, it's Brett Martineau from Action Sports Jax. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jags.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio.
This is Action Sports Jags on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
Would you describe your feelings as confident that there will still be a season?
I'm not confident, Mike. I think there's real risk, and as long as there's no dialogue, that real risk is going to continue.
Oh, Rob Manfred, Commissioner of Major League Baseball. I swear 4 days earlier he said 100%. 100% when Carl Ravitch asked him.
It's about communication, Brent. Friendships, marriages, salvaging a baseball season, NFL locker rooms, communication.
Greeny, he says, not 100%.
Yeah.
What if Jason Fitz asked him? Where would he be?
Yeah.
I don't know what his third answer might be.
On the fence, he'd probably say.
We have a lot of questions for Jason Fitz. Major League Baseball will be a topic. Jason Fitz joins us from First Take Your Take on ESPN nationwide and right here in Jacksonville on ESPN 690. What's happening, man?
I feel like if I was talking to Manfred, his first answer would be, I'll answer that question when Greeny asks it. I don't think I'm high enough on the totem pole yet.
Hey, speaking of that totem pole, when it comes to marriage, we were just having this conversation. I notice more and more, and I know I'm a little late to this party, that people are wearing the rubber or wedding rings.
Yeah.
And I have a traditional ring, and some people have tattoo as a ring. What do you got?
Just a regular ring. I'll tell you, it's really uncomfortable when you're a musician. It's really uncomfortable to wear a ring for a lot of, for violinists particularly. It stinks to have a ring on your third finger because of what that means when you're playing. So it's actually an adjustment. But the funny thing is, everybody knows I'm all tatted up. My left arm is my wedding invite. It says Ivy Wed, my wife's name, my name, and our anniversary date. It is directly from our wedding invites. It's how I had it done on my arm. And so it's massive. And when I got it, I was still touring, and I got it because I wanted to basically say thanks to, all the support I get at home that lets me be a touring musician. And I got it, and I came home to my wife, and I'm like, cool. So can I stop wearing the ring at this point? Because it's really uncomfortable when I play. And there was an emphatic hell no. I mean, it wasn't even just that's cute. Don't, no. Absolutely. But a lot of guys wear the rubber ones. They're more comfortable. The rubber's more comfortable. Just don't wear, this is my word to the wise to everybody, titanium. A lot of people got, in love with that titanium rings. The titanium is virtually impossible to cut. So the problem is, if God forbid you have an accident and break your finger or have an issue with that ring, they can't cut it off. They got to cut off your finger. So, if you make your living with your hands like I did as a musician, stay away from titanium.
Wow. Kuz is getting married here next year. He's getting all sorts of – I see him taking notes right about now. So this is good.
And this show has done me no service or no justice in the fact that I don't wear a ring. So now my wife's going to hear Jason Fitz, a very acclaimed, member of ESPN and society in general, and she's going to be like, well, if he can play the fiddle with the ring, why can't you do MMA with the ring?
Not only that, but she wants some tattoos now, too.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. I'm going to get a nice big plate of spaghetti and meatballs. She makes a mean spaghetti and meatballs. We'll put that on there. We'll put a bunch of stuff on there. Thanks for the inspiration,
Man, I can't
Jason.
imagine MMA, by the way. MMA fighting with the ring on, I cannot imagine. When I lift, I hate having like I lift that much. Come on. But when I actually pick up the plastic coated pink weights and put them up in the air, the number of times I'm looking down, I'm like, man, I got this little callus here. It's uncomfortable. Come on now.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you. Kuz, be sure to say that audio and send it to my wife. Appreciate it.
That's awesome. Hey, Jason Fitz with us from First Take Your Take here on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Major League Baseball is such a mess. I'm a big baseball guy, man. I love baseball. My kids play, and I played it. I just love ball. This is too bad that we're seeing it play out the way it is. Jeff Passan's been a star. I mean, his stuff's so good on what's going on in Major League Baseball. But they've said big week, big week, big week. I mean, now we're a month later in this thing. What a disaster. How everything we said that you couldn't be and couldn't do if you're Major League Baseball back in March when the pandemic hit, they are doing.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate, guys. And, I've come to the conclusion, this isn't breaking hot news or hot takes, but I've come to the conclusion that Rob Manfred needs to be fired. And it's not just because of what's happening today. I think what really struck me last night watching the commissioners speak is even when Adam Silver was asked a difficult question about what if players aren't comfortable due to safety or distraction from social issues not playing, Adam Silver came back and said, we'll respect that. And the word respect just, it hit me. Like it gave me goosebumps. And I watched this and I thought, man, this is everything about the foundation that was laid. And that's what we're seeing right now. Because the players and owners in NBA culture have worked on a foundation of mutual respect, they're capable of having conversations that Major League Baseball isn't capable of. So now, because they have zero mutual respect between the players and the commissioner's sitting on national TV and using his platform as a reason to call out the players, and that's only going to further destroy the relationship. This was a reminder that years of problematic relations have now come up to the forefront because of what we're dealing with right now and because of the lack of foundation built. Rob Manfred should be fired because of that more than anything that comes right now.
Yeah, I wonder. They've got a CBA coming up in the next year or so. I understand what you're saying. Do you think it will be a reality? I mean, could we see that on the other side of this whenever this is over?
Yeah, I think because somebody's going to have to be the scapegoat, right? Somebody's going to have to be the person to blame. The players aren't going to want to take the blame. The owners aren't going to want to take the blame. So at some point, I believe the tide will turn and it will become easier to point fingers at, what should have happened in negotiations and the way the negotiations have been handled. And people will blame Rob Manfred without having to step back and realize that really Rob Manfred's just a talking piece for your favorite team's owner. So really, you should be sending a note to your favorite team's owner right now. But the fact is, Manfred's easier to blame, so people will go after him instead.
Yeah, Jason Fitz with us from First Take, Your Take, 1 to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday right here on ESPN 690. One more thought on the baseball stuff, at least from me. And I get a little defensive. I don't know about defense. That's not the right word. But I just feel like a little bit of the baseball stuff's been over-dramatized, Jason. I keep saying seeing people say, well, you could have got a whole new generation involved in July, and you're missing an opportunity. Listen, I do believe they're missing an opportunity to be out there and one of the sports back. And, man, what a culmination it would have been. July 4th, fireworks, baseball, hot dogs, hamburgers, cookouts. We get that. Like, I understand it. But, every July baseball plays, and there's really not a lot of other sports playing. And it's not like they've created this generational thing over the last few. They've missed out on that anyway over the years. They don't market their stars. Am I missing a point here? I mean, could Major League Baseball really have gained that much if they had come back in early July?
Well, I mean, okay, so you make a very, very good point. I can't take anything away from the point that they usually run unopposed, right, during July. But I think what we're all seeing are these historic numbers being put up by golf and NASCAR. When you start to put that into some sort of mindset of, oh, my God, if people are so hungry for anything that NASCAR ratings can be up 101% on a race, I mean, that's just historic numbers. So I think that's part of why people look at it. To me, opportunity would be the name of the entire memoir of this era of Major League Baseball. Because when you start talking about what they haven't accomplished as a sport and what they haven't been able to get done as a sport, I mean, in my mind, I'm thinking of mic'd up 4th of July baseball where players are suddenly stars and everybody's getting to see their personalities and this huge win. And to your point, maybe that's not a big win. But then my counterpoint would be how have they not capitalized on that year in and year out? So, that's the argument against baseball. I think short-term, long-term, all of it is that they should have been capitalizing.
Yeah, and I guess that's been my point a little bit. It's like people don't know Mike Trout anyway, Austin. I mean, they don't, not enough know, sure, to get to that next generation, and we don't see them enough. They we know Lamar Jackson, we know Patrick Mahomes. Every kid knows him.
Yeah,
we hardly even see Mike Trout.
But listen, I mean, is that more Mike Trout though, too, in his personality?
It
right?
Could be
because
a little
kids
bit.
know who Bryce Harper is.
But the bottom line is, I think most people would agree baseball's missed the opportunity to do that over the years. They don't do a good job of it with their stars.
Brent, you make a really good point, and I would double down on it with Mookie Betts, somebody that, Mookie's got a huge Nashville background, obviously, and the local media was covering the fact that Mookie was out at different protests handing out COVID-19 masks and trying to keep people safe and really being a part of the community through all of that. If that had been Tom Brady, we certainly would have heard about it in every possible way. So there is a little bit of a disconnect for some of the players that are MVP caliber superstars that are out in their community, that are involved, that have big personalities. Those all seem to describe Mookie Betts. So why do we not, as a nation, give a damn about what Mookie does? I can't figure that out.
Jason, you kind of mentioned a little bit, with Manfred maybe being the scapegoat, and that's probably how it's going to pan out here. And we've kind of talked about on the show a little bit where how much responsibility falls on the players as well, because right now I sit here and it seems like I get it. Maybe some players want to play, but overall, the overall thesis right now what I'm getting from the MLB is that nobody cares. And if nobody cares, then why should I care? Why should my son care? So I guess my question to you is when the smoke settles, and we can kind of evaluate the landscape a little bit, like, will the players come out better just because all the blame we put on Manfred, or will we still have short memories and be like, you know what? The players had a chance to make it right, too, and they didn't. Like, how is it going to pan out?
Well, I think there's going to be animosity towards everybody. And that's just because, at this point, for all of us, it's hard to be level-headed when you're watching something not happen, right? So, to me, as much as there should be a fair and reasonable conversation about who can afford the losses and how all of it's going down, I think we're way past that point, and now people are reacting emotionally. So when you don't get sports and you want to put your emotion behind it, and the perception is, and this is just me saying this makes my skin crawl, and it'll make your skin crawl hearing it, Austin. But how often did you hear in your life, hey, you're getting paid to play a game, right? Like, people forget the ultimate sacrifice that was put, and you know what I mean by ultimate sacrifice, but what you put into your life to be able to play that. No different than how often people would say, I can't believe you get paid to play music. And it's like, well, I can't believe I gave up my entire life to get that opportunity, right? So when you look across the board, people are going to say, well, these guys are getting paid to play millions of dollars to play a game. Like, that's such a narrative that runs, and it's stupid, and I hate it, but people are going to say it.
Jason, I'm not sure if you watched the Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa documentary, The Long Gone Summer. Did you watch it?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So obviously more childhood nostalgia, right? I mean, we talked about The Last Dance a little bit, and then we kind of got to relive some of those moments again. And I get you're a little older than I am, but believe it or not, so yesterday we come in and show up, we kind of talk about it a little bit, and I speak into existence. I'm like, if that documentary did anything for me, it reaffirmed the fact that I want to get a Ken Griffey Jr. documentary. And somehow my prayers were answered today, where MLB Network is going to release the Ken Griffey Jr. documentary on Father's Day, by the way, I mind you.
Very nice and appropriate.
I hope my wife's listening. Like, yeah, usually we have like a Father's Day little dinner. No, it's my day, and my day will be spent watching the Ken Griffey Jr. documentary. Jason, how excited are you for the Griffey documentary? And just what did you think about him as a baseball player in general growing up?
Oh man, I mean, this is needed. Like, Major League Baseball, if anything, they should have learned over the course of that documentary that, they were saved not just by home runs, they were saved by personality, right? Like Sammy Sosa coming into that discussion. And I think we forget what a vibrant personality Ken Griffey Jr. was, and how much people flocked to the sport, fan or not, just to watch him play, because he did do everything so well, and because he was the guy that was not a jack of all trades, a master of all trades, right? So when you combine all of that with just this electrifying personality, baseball was absolutely saved by, I think, personalities that were fun to watch, and Ken Griffey Jr. in that era among the top of those. So for me, even as a non-baseball diehard fan, I'm flocking to watch anything on Ken Griffey Jr. because it was at that time you stopped what you were doing to see what he was doing when he was on the diamond. So absolutely, I think it's a huge move, and I'm surprised we didn't think of it.
Yeah, he made baseball cool, no doubt about it. And just like McGwire and Sosa made chicks dig the long ball, Ken Griffey Jr. had that sweet swing. All right, we're going to end with this, and then we'll let you go. But the cover of Madden is Lamar Jackson. As a musician, what cover did you covet? Is it Rolling Stone?
Oh, Rolling Stone, right?
Is it clear as day, or is there something we're
missing?
Unless
there's like a Fiddle magazine out there. I don't think so.
I'm just trying to think. So you're saying what best album cover?
Well, no, like a magazine cover from a musical world, like
Rolling Stone.
It's
clearly
Rolling Stone.
Get on the cover. I mean, I will never forget when Rolling Stone was out to do an article. They came out and did like an article on the band Perry at one point when we were having success, and it was like a little 4-line blurb in some. I don't even remember which episode of Rolling Stone it was, but just backstage that entire day, everybody was talking about the fact that, holy cow, I can't believe Rolling Stone is here to do this. And like there is such a power to Rolling Stone, to being on the cover of Rolling Stone, that I will never be it like I can't imagine what that moment would feel like. I can't imagine how meaningful that moment would be for anybody that gets it. I don't know what that feeling was like. I just know that having a reporter I'd never heard of that worked for the magazine out watching a live show, man, I brought 10 times the energy to that show because it was like, heck yeah, I'm going to prove it to Rolling Stone.
That's awesome. That's good. That's great perspective. That's what I was looking for because you could tell Lamar Jackson is really fired up about being on the cover of Madden.
Yep.
And I appreciate that. So from both of you. All right, Jason Fitz, thanks for joining us, man. 1 to 3. First take, your take on ESPN across the country and right here in Jacksonville, ESPN 690. We'll do it again next week.
Can't wait, gentlemen. Have a great week.
All right. We put him on the spot with a lot of baseball. I know he's not a diehard baseball, but baseball's in the news right now. And very good on the whole Manfred and trying to make sense of the baseball situation.
Brent, dream cover of any magazine you can be on, what is it?
It would have been Sports Illustrated.
Sports Illustrated?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't even really... I mean, I had like ESPN, the magazine. I already told you I don't want to be in the body issue. I think Sports Illustrated.
Sports Illustrated.
In the day, Sports Illustrated still carried a lot of weight. I was not also the guy that ran to the mailbox every week to get Sports Illustrated. I was more of a newspaper guy than a magazine guy.
Okay.
But I will also say this: underrated in the magazine, if you will, world was Sporting News.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, I love that.
Wasn't it bigger or not? Was it the same size as Sports Illustrated?
No, it was a little bigger.
And
I had...
Really get your paws on
I
that
had a
thing.
subscription to that, but I always thought they did an unbelievable job of covering the baseball side. So obviously a baseball fan growing up. Watched, I did a lot of that. I don't even know if anything would be like second place, though, seriously, like Sports Illustrated.
I mean, like in the sporting
world?
world?
The sports realm. You know, I mean, why would I want to be... Like, I don't want to be on GQ.
Oh, that's a shame.
I mean...
we
could make the case, right?
Yeah.
Especially with the hair. Especially with the way the hair's flowing lately.
I mean, you're still wearing a V-neck. That's fine, though. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Once I get this rubber silicone ring, I might be able to fit into it.
I mean, I guess if you want to transcend sports, Time Magazine.
Men's Health.
Men's Health? Yeah. Dude, I can so see you on Men's Health. Nice black and white 8x10 with your arms crossed like this. So you think you know sports media. And it's like Brent Martin
I
feel
like to get on Men's Health, though, and I could be really wrong.
Yeah.
But I got to get like all silver hair first.
Okay, like a little Silver Fox action going on, maybe. Yeah.
Like I got to...
Dude, that's our goal. That's the thing, Brent. We've been talking about like what kind of challenge could you do to obviously, accomplish something. That's the accomplishment. I mean, yes.
I think in a roundabout way, Coos, he just said, I have never accomplished anything.
What do you want to do with your life, Brent Martineau? What do you want to do with your life? Yes, you're well respected amongst your peers in the sports media.
Years old, I haven't accomplished a damn thing.
You're the one that wanted to say you wanted to have a challenge. I say we get you on like some kind of like Spartan workout where you get like a 6-pack and then you go for the cover of like Men's Health and it's like the bad boy of sports radio, Brent Martineau.
What is like a magazine now though that people covet? Like, are magazines still a thing? Like, I still see them at the grocery store.
Yeah, I mean, I still think Rolling Stone's up there. Obviously, what was the one that Kim Kardashian? You remember the Kim Kardashian one where she was really like revealing? I think it was like Paper Magazine, maybe it's called.
The one where she broke the internet?
Yeah, she broke the internet, literally.
Yeah, it's Paper.
What is that?
What is that?
Like a music, cultural kind of thing?
I don't know. It's a magazine.
I need to know these things.
This is right in your wheelhouse.
WAP.
All of a sudden, Demi Lovato's going to be on the next cover, and you know what you're talking about.
All I need to know is who's on the cover and what they look like on the cover.
Yeah, Paper Magazine. It seems like it's a 16-page, like just on society and stuff, just pop culture.
Oh, pop culture.
Yeah, pop
magazine.
culture. Yep.
Only 16 pages?
The original one was. I don't know. I'm sure it's more now. I don't know.
Well, it's more or less.
Yeah. I mean,
so it is interesting. Like, I don't know how you would answer that. Like, is that a thing still?
Like, Kuz, you got any aspirations being in any kind of magazines?
No, not really.
Folio?
Nah.
No.
No, I mean,
Folio 2.0. It's back.
It's back, man.
No.
Huh?
I don't know. Like, do we care about magazines still?
Like, I didn't think so, but they're still at grocery stores, and like Rolling Stone, you say, is still a thing.
Yeah.
Like, everything's so online, but the cover of a magazine is still a thing, man.
Well, like, what do you think would get kids more hype, being on the cover of a magazine or like being the cover of the first page of a website? Like if you went to ESPN and you're first picture.
It's always, I'll give you my thought on this, all right? And this might just be a little bit of an older school thought, not like super old school, but I'm kind of getting into that older school thought. Like I always believe, it's funny about because we talk about this in the business a lot, the newspaper.
Yep.
And the newspaper's dying. I mean, listen, I don't say that critically. I don't say that happily. I love the newspaper. I mean, I just stopped getting the newspaper like a few years ago. I was one of the last ones.
Sure.
Well, not the last one. There's still some, but not a lot. And everybody knows that. But there was something about when you were a kid. There's still something about seeing your name in the paper to me. Like, I don't think seeing your name online carries the weight of seeing your name in the paper even today. Mm-hmm. Like if I tweet about you as a high school kid, okay, cool. But if the Florida Times-Union puts your name in a little blurb that says you had 3 touchdowns, I still think for the kid that's cooler than me tweeting about you or on a website. I think. Now, that might just be my older school thinking, but I think it carries more weight. Like, it's never crossed over. Like, everybody has crossed over to read the newspaper online and articles online and click on articles on Twitter. But I don't think the kind of that allure of seeing your name in the paper or seeing your picture in the paper. And when I was a kid, man, we were playing baseball. I was like, come on, did I get my name in the paper? I saw they were there.
For sure. No, you're not lying,
I hope
man.
They took my picture
I'm
today.
getting hyped up
like,
right
that
now.
was
He's
a
not
big
lying.
thing.
But like,
I don't think it's crossed over to seeing yourself on Jacksonville.com or ActionNewsJax.com. I really don't.
But like, and like, I never had any of that happen. But part of me thinks like, you know, now kids who never really had paper like that, if they have Brent Martineau come down to their football game and he tweets and he's got, oh my gosh, he's got, you know, so many followers on Twitter and he added me, like, I don't know. I think kids would get into that.
Well, you're damn straight, actually. You know what? Now you say it like that, you're right.
I was going to say a bigger name, but like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, who would you have said?
Well, I was going to go national, but
I mean, name a bigger name than Brent Martineau right now. He's getting the cover of Men's Health.
Say Greeny. Okay, say Greeny.
A little respect, Greeny.
Or say Jason Fitz goes to your game and tweets about it.
Soon.
You know what I mean, though? And they, like, tag you. They take the time to, like, tag you in that tweet. I think...
You might be right. That's my point. I said I was a little old school on it. That's a very good point that these kids didn't grow up with the paper, so they never really saw their name in a print or at the driveway going to get it. So that's fair. I mean, they might not care about it.
And listen, and from my perspective, too, like, the name of the newspaper, shout out to the Iowa Herald. I mean, I think my grandma still got every single cutout that I was ever mentioned, and even probably the school suspensions as well. But that's
that made the paper.
That was one.
How bad were these things?
It was a small town. Brent, I mean, it's a small town. I drove my Escalade through Iowa and it was in the paper, man. Everyone was talking about it.
Austin tardy for
comes back,
school.
flexes on everyone.
Even like Channel 9 News was there, like, oh, Austin Lane with an Escalade in Iowa, first time in history. That almost threw me a parade.
In the Iowa Herald, they have who was tardy to school. Got my name in the paper.
Pretty much. But they actually they did have Student of the Month. And spoiler alert, it was every student got to be Student of the Month.
I was going to say you never won.
Yeah, no, I got it one time,
there
man.
were 50 kids in the school.
Good point. There you go. So
52 weeks in a year.
So 2 people got doubled up.
Maybe it was Student of the Week then, yeah. But anyways, no, I think even cooler than having your name in the paper, and this is so cool what you guys still do, Brent, with your platform. It's the highlight shows for high school football.
Yeah.
You know, and let's be honest, I mean, I don't know how many high school kids tune into their nightly news. Hopefully a lot, obviously, for your sake. But like, there's just something special about, you know, just watching the TV, gather on as a team, and you see yourself as the highlight. And yeah, it's cool on YouTube. You can see it too as well, and I'm sure you repurpose it, and that's fine. But there's something about live television, watching the news, and all of a sudden you wait till like the last segment of the night, you know, and it's probably 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. Parents trying to get to bed past your bedtime. Nah, ma, gotta see these highlights real quick. It's just, it's a cool thing. Well, I grew up with it. I'm sure guys still grow up with it to this day.
I think you're right on the money. Mm-hmm. Listen, our high school shows, it's a thing. Yeah. I mean, no doubt. I mean, in fairness, all the channels, but across the country, it's a thing. And it's to see we get a lot of emails and calls, and thankfully now what's gone away is a little bit, can you get us a copy? Because it's all online.
Of course.
So that's kind of nice. But It is a thing. I mean, that's different, though. I do think seeing the highlight on TV, I get it. Mm-hmm. What I don't understand is is the paper still carry weight in that respect? And I would say, yeah, I think it would be kind of cool to see your picture in the paper and see your name in the paper, as much as the paper is, unfortunately, a dying breed.
Yeah.
I think that still is kind of cool. I mean, unless you're going to prison. But
yeah. Let me ask you this question real quick. And this happened to me in college. And for the most part, I got really positive feedback. But there was one person who said that I was super self-centered and conceited when I did this. So at Murray State University, we had, I think it was the Murray Ledger is what they called it. And, there's like a football preview. So like they had a nice write-up on me, and it was like a nice big color picture of me. So
very nice color.
Yeah, dude, color. Hey,
color expensive.
Spare no expense that year for Murray State Racers.
You don't know how big of that deal that was if it was in color.
Hey, who you telling, man? I put it. So here's the story. I put that picture with the article. I taped it to my wall behind, on my bed, right? So it goes on my wall. I mean, is that odd? I mean, is that cool or not? Like,
yeah, I think it's okay.
Okay. Well, then that one person who thought it wasn't can look where I am now. Look where you are now. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to call anybody out. But
that person who knows, like a CEO of some country.
Yeah, it's probably. I think now I think about it, I think they're like a superintendent of a school, which is pretty impressive. It's more money than I'm making. But no, I mean, did you do that as well? Like, would you cut out the?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Put them on the wall
above my bed, but I mean, I think.
Well, hey, it was a small dorm room, man. I didn't have a lot of space, and I had to share it with somebody. So what do you want me to do? And by the way, there's a spider's web that is making moves.
Does anybody see a tarantula nearby? Because this spider web.
I mean,
it's just like a web. It's like a line.
It's not even a web. Though. You can go fishing with that.
But
you
it's
can go
been here for 3 days,
and
it's getting closer to me.
Yeah, well, it's almost on top of you now. So where's that spider at? It's the real question.
I don't know.
Distracting.
Let's go to break. I got to figure this thing out.
Please, I have to go eat my lunch.
When we come back, we'll talk a little more sports. You get your name on the radio, maybe.
I'm gonna put up in my room if I do. I'm gonna print it out.
Take a screenshot of the stream.
Yeah. Hey, whatever works. We all have egos.
All right, Brent, say something nice about me. Let's take a screenshot of it, and I'll put it up in my room then.
Let's add it to the.
Yeah, and I'll be like,
add it to the scrapbook.
Absolutely.
Can't even do scrapbooks anymore.
Yeah.
Why? Why would you? They're all online.
Digital scrapbooks. That's what social media is.
That's what Facebook's for.
That's what I say Facebook is.
Poor grandmas out there need something to do now, man.
They do.
No more scrapbooking. It's a shame.
All right, we'll be back on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the first alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Becoming mostly clear, nice and mild tonight as temperatures drop all the way down into the lower 60s with highs tomorrow in the mid-80s and comfortable humidity again. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, with the guaranteed lowest diamond prices in North Florida. Beards Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center.
Boss, check out this headline in the Crooks R Us newsletter. Big Blue alarm now allowing contact center employees to work from home.
Whoa, all of them?
Not quite. Says 88% of Big Blue employees are working from home.
Wonder if their customers know that the people monitoring their alarm are probably sitting at the kitchen table in their underwear.
Hey, maybe that's one of the reasons Big Blue doesn't have a guaranteed response.
That is an excellent point. Too bad Safe Touch Security isn't more like Big Blue Alarm.
Wishful thinking, boss. Listen to this. Safe Touch Security still leads the way with the fastest response time in the industry. Boss, how do they do it?
Doesn't matter. We still gotta stick to the Crooks R Us motto. Stay away from Safe Touch houses. Do that and we'll be fine.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Recently, Florida has seen an increase in child drownings. Here are tips to keep everyone safe. Have attentive adult supervision when children are swimming. Use barriers to block access to water. Install door and window alarms to alert you when a child has left the house. Learn to swim. Lessons can save a life. And know CPR, because every second counts. For more information, visit watersmartfl.com.
This message is sponsored by the Florida Department of Health, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
This is a CMG Open for Business report. During these changing times, it's challenging for businesses across North Florida, big and small, but businesses are adjusting to meet your needs in a safe and comfortable way. Here's today's list of businesses that are open for you.
Loan Depot, Smoothie King, Rise Chiropractic, Jacksonville Amateur Golf Tour, Flippers Diving Equipment and Training.
If you're open for business, let us know by emailing us at openjax@cmg.com. Together, we're getting through this.
This message is brought to you by Community First Credit Union.
So, is the pandemic over? We can only hope. So let's hope that all the families and businesses hurt by this thing can find a new future. And going forward, if you have questions about your family or business financial health, we have answers. Answers that will help us to a better, brighter future in Jacksonville.
You can open a Community First banking account today at communityfirstfl.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Life South would like to thank our blood donors for giving blood during a time when it's so critically important. Blood donors like you are needed every day. If you're healthy, please make regular appointments online at lifesouth.org throughout the coming weeks to help ensure patients at your local hospitals have blood available when they need it. Thank you, blood donors, for saving lives.
Now more than ever, you need the open road. Windows down, wind in your hair, pure freedom. Then go see our friends over at Arlington Toyota, because their massive construction sale was made to put you behind the wheel today. Think you can't afford a new ride? Think again. At Arlington, you choose 0 down with low payments or no payments until 2021. Get to Arlington today where you can drive away in a Toyota RAV4 XLE for $285 a month with 0 down or no payments until 2021. That's a pre-owned RAV4 for $285 a month with 0 down or no payments till 2021. How about a Toyota Tacoma for $285 a month with 0 down or no payments until 2021? We're talking about a pre-owned Tacoma for $285 a month with 0 down or no payments till 2021. Plus, with Arlington's Credit for Everyone program, if your Beacon score is from 450 to 850, Arlington's getting almost everyone approved. And you get Arlington's 30-day exchange policy on any vehicle you purchase. As always, your safety is Arlington's priority. Go see them today, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit Arlington Toyota /June offers for full details.
Nobody wants tax problems, and lives have certainly changed in the last couple of months. So let me tell you about J. David Tax Law. They are here to help you and your business with tax debt issues during the pandemic. Tax problems can be stressful, especially right now. If you owe a tax debt, there are new programs available that can help reduce or eliminate your IRS or sales tax burden. But here's the deal. The programs expire on July 15th, so don't wait. That's coming soon. Get the help you need with tax debt, payroll taxes, bank levies, wage garnishments, tax liens, and unfiled returns. With stimulus packages being distributed, the IRS will be collecting an unprecedented amount of tax debt to fund this historic initiative. J. David Tax Law only has experienced tax attorneys that will represent you. You want to be able to walk in and talk to someone and look them right in the eye when it comes to your taxes. J. David Tax Law is someone you can trust. If you have federal or state sales tax debt, have a sit down with J. David Tax Law. Your first step is a no-cost consultation. Call J. David Tax Law 904-507-4777, 904-507-4777, or go to jdavidtaxlaw.com.
There's a new modern patient-centered orthopedic practice in Jacksonville.
We believe that the patient pays money for a doctor and should be seen by a doctor.
Ortho Edge.
They're getting the most technologically available medicine there is.
Ortho Edge.
You're going to get a much better experience with your physician. We all see our patients.
Get the answers right away and more focused care on patients.
Find out more about us at orthoedge.com.
Ortho Edge. We're in the DePaul building attached to St. Vincent's Medical Center, Riverside.
Do you know a child who is deaf, hard of hearing, blind, or visually impaired? The Florida School for the Deaf and Blind in St. Augustine offers a tuition-free educational program to prepare the child for a lifetime of success. FSDB offers free comprehensive education, transportation, and boarding services at no cost to all eligible deaf or blind students, elementary through high school, no matter where the student lives in Florida. Call 800-344-3737 or log on to www.fsdbk12.org to learn more.
Say hello to your new secret advertising weapon, your own branded mobile phone number. StarStar Mobile provisions vanity mobile numbers prefixed by ***, providing audiences an easy way to reach your business. Give it a try now by dialing *** Mobile from your mobile phone. That's *** Mobile. When prospective customers see your offline or online ad and they dial your branded StarStar mobile number, StarStar Mobile helps to convert them through text, voice, and online communications. Give it a try now by dialing StarStar Mobile from your mobile phone. That's StarStar Mobile.
Throughout the pandemic, Barnabas Center has been on the front lines in Nassau County providing critical assistance to those in need of food, financial assistance, and health care. Barnabas thanks its many supporters. For information and to support Barnabas, visit barnabasnassau.org.
Redbox has top entertainment when you need it most. Watch as 12 strangers wake up in the middle of nowhere for one very specific purpose. The Hunt, starring Betty Gilpin and Hilary Swank. Make it a movie night and visit redbox.com for all the ways to watch.
Hey, everybody, this is Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Hope you catch the show Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. But if you can't catch it, or if you want to go back and listen again, check out the Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 podcast. Just search ESPN 690 in your podcast app.
Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jax.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
All of our medical experts indicated that as testing becomes more prevalent and we're going to have positive tests. Our players who are going to be in that, our personnel are going to be involved in the front office. Our league office employees have been involved. So positive tests are going to happen. The issue is, can we obviously prevent as many of those from happening, but in addition, treat them quickly, isolate them, and prevent them from impacting on other personnel.
That is Commissioner Roger Goodell. I like the admission that they're not naive and they're not ignorant to know that, hey, we're going to have players test positive. Mm-hmm. And at least that's a good starting point. I mean, because it's going to happen. It's part of it. It's part of the population of it. So how they are going to treat it, what are they going to do? What's the quarantine look like? How are they going to have backup players? There's some talk about Major League Baseball having like a taxi squad, that practice squad in essence right within 100 miles of the stadium so they can then go get players if they need them in that sense. Well, I think it's a little easier to do, by the way, in Major League Baseball because I think that, like, you can have 20, say you have 25 guys, but you could also find 50 players in Major League Baseball that have similar skill sets. Like, maybe they're not all Mike Trouts, but they might be pretty close to the 23rd guy in the roster. A little more difficult in football. I'm not so sure the 75th guy in camp is that close to the 48th guy in camp.
Especially guys like even waiting on a call, like, I mean, how in shape are they right now and things like that. Like, I think the transition to go from maybe sitting on your couch to play baseball, from sitting on your couch to playing football is obviously a greater transition. Now, I guess it's time to come clean. The reason why I've been pushing the Jaguars narrative of a 3-4 defense was because, well, I'm 245 pounds right now, and I can see myself playing outside linebacker. Hey, Todd Wash said I wasn't a fit for your Leo defense back in 2013. Well, check this out now, 245. My phone is always on. Let me know.
Well, the other thing about baseball is, you know what? You go and pitch. You go and hit. There's not this playbook. There's not this getting on the same page as everybody. I mean, there's signs. You can learn those in 10 minutes.
Oh, dude, it'll take me a lot. Those signs are intense, though. Don't get it twisted. But no, you're absolutely right. I mean, well, once again, like with no baseball, the NFL doesn't really have a sample of what really to do. So they're kind of flying by the seat of their pants here. But I think they're going about it the right way, right? Like, at least everyone seems calm about it. They aren't denying it. And I get it. Roger Goodell's not a doctor, but they're accepting it, right? Like they're being pretty transparent. And once again, and we've talked about it ad nauseum, it seems like, but we'll see with the third-party testing of once the season's on the line, how that's going to be. But right now, I think in the offseason, the NFL is doing the best that they can do.
2021 Pro Bowl going to Las Vegas. You like it?
Are you going?
No.
Why not, I guess? I mean, it's so weird. Like, ever since they stopped, I mean, when they went to Orlando, and Orlando was great, that's fine. But, like, it was always a Hawaii thing to me for whatever reason. Like, I don't know if it was just because as a kid and you watch the quarterback challenges and they're always outside and there's palm trees and everything. But now it's kind of gotten, washed out a little bit and everything. I mean, why not? Vegas is new. Obviously, you missed out on the NFL draft. So, yeah, sure, have it in Vegas.
Vegas or Hawaii?
For me?
Or Orlando.
Yeah.
if you could make a Pro Bowl, where do you want to go? Now, there's a lot of factors here. See, the obvious answer, people will be like, Hawaii. Well, you also have to get I've always heard from players, it's like the bad thing about Hawaii is that you've got to get your family out to Hawaii. Sure. It costs you a fortune to go out there. It's a great honor.
You're also making a chunk of change, though, too, in the Pro Bowl.
You do, but still, I've heard they don't acknowledge how much you're making as much as they're losing. And the one thing I will say, and this is why I think it's an actual question. Again, hey, Brent, where do you want to go on vacation? Hawaii, Vegas, or Orlando? Okay, I'll go to Hawaii.
That's where I'm at.
Are you right? I'll do that. And the other places are fine, but if you give me the option to go, I'm going to take Hawaii.
Yeah.
But I also think there's this about Hawaii. It doesn't seem like the atmosphere is great when it was in Hawaii. Like I don't know if they got tired of it. I don't know. It didn't feel like it. Now maybe somebody could show me a picture and it's like 40,000 people. I didn't get that. In Orlando, I thought the crowds were really good. I went to the Pro Bowl in Arizona because they've done it a couple of times where they had it before the Super Bowl in the same spot. Mm-hmm. So I went to the Pro Bowl there. I was down Pro Bowl week in Miami when they did the similar thing. Mm-hmm. Mojo had made the Pro Bowl, so we went down and covered that. And I thought the atmospheres were a little bit better in the States. I say in the States, not like Hawaii's States, but you're not going to get people to go out to Hawaii to watch it. Where in Vegas, you can get people converging on Vegas, maybe to make it an appointment, a destination, say, hey, we're going to go to Vegas and we'll go to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, but see, to me, like the Pro Bowl, I mean, listen, it's a game, but it's not a game. Like, obviously, players don't take it serious. So, like, to me, it signifies, like, listen, the season's over. Let's get a cool family experience. And like, that's why Hawaii is probably at top of the list for me, because I visualize like what place would be the best to vacation as a family. Now, yes, Hawaii is going to be a little more expensive. The travel arrangements are going to be a little more complicated. But like, listen, I've seen Vegas vacation at least 100 times. Okay, and it's like a documentary. Okay. Wouldn't bring my family to Vegas, okay? Wouldn't want Wayne Newton hitting on my wife the entire time, okay? That creepy old man. So with that being said, well, it could be good for the player out there who's single, who's looking to have a good time and just kind of party the whole week and then go play a meaningless Pro Bowl game. Sure, but I think if you want the family atmosphere, and once again, I'm sure the board of Vegas tourism right now is getting ready to shut down the show, but I just think Hawaii is a better atmosphere.
We were bringing the family to Vegas, by the way, this year on the tail end of our trip, so we're going to find that out.
Gonna go see
Wayne.
Yeah, you go see Wayne Newton. Watch him, Brent.
Steph was maybe excited about that.
Dude's a snake in the grass, man. I'm telling you, man. A guy's just waiting for some guy's wife to fall off the grid.
But that's a very good point, though. Orlando was a great destination because of Disney, mm-hmm. So it's good family destination, and it made a lot of sense, I thought. And there are a lot of places that could also do that. Vegas will be different. I wonder if guys will like the Jags defensive line group, I think, for the last couple of years, I know this last year, they got at the end of the season go on a trip out to Vegas.
Oh, cool.
All together, or as many of them that can go or whatever, but they've done that. So now I wonder if you get almost like this convergence of NFL players, even if they didn't make the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Because they'll be like, hey, we'll go over there, or we'll go hang out with whoever made the Pro Bowl, who we know, and after he's done playing, or we'll go party. Point being, I think you'll see less families out in Vegas for the very reason you just said. Wayne Newton, of course.
Yeah, so it's funny, man. One of the biggest regrets of my NFL career didn't even happen on the field. And there's probably a couple of them. It actually happened during an off season when it was my second year in the NFL, and at the time, my financial advisor also advised guys like Kelvin Johnson and some other big-name players. And he invited me to go out like on excursion to Vegas, where everyone from the company got together and just kind of partied for the weekend. And like, my poor Warwick mind is like, dude, I don't make Kelvin Johnson money. I'm still on my rookie contract right now, okay? And like, you know how that goes down in Vegas, man. You've never been there, but trust me, there's
You weren't going to the VIP room.
Yeah, exactly. So what am I going to do? Like, I'm going to watch Kelvin Johnson buy bottles in VIP while I'm at the Tropicana just sitting by myself at the bar playing, $5 blackjack? Like, to me, it didn't seem like a great time. Well, then I saw pictures and everything because at the time, my financial advisor posted them. I'm like, I missed out, man. But it is what it is.
So you didn't go?
Oh, I didn't go. No. Because I you know what? That was the mature Austin, because that was the right thing to do.
That was not the Austin that bought rims.
That was not. Well, that's probably why I didn't go. I spent like 5 G's on my rims. I didn't have any money left. I had to get through the season to even make ends meet.
That is grown up of you to not go out there.
I know.
That's impressive.
Well, as I'm saying now, because I regret it, but it is what it is. Yeah,
true.
Yeah.
Hey, we asked a question earlier in the show: silicone or rubber ring, traditional ring or tattoo ring?
Yeah.
One response is, I wear my silicone one when I'm working. He's a tradesman. The nice one comes out here and there if we do something. Makes a lot of sense to me. TFS Godfather says, yes, just celebrated 34 years this past Sunday, which looks like a silicone rubber ring. He's got a Jags logo on it.
Cool.
Well, how about that?
Let me see that.
Like, I knew they made credit cards for sports teams. I didn't know they made wedding rings for sports teams.
That's silicone?
ESPN 690
That's
has
cool.
a chance.
Now we're talking, man. ESPN 690 wedding rings. Coos.
You're going to have to be the first one, Coos.
Let's go and try that out a little bit, huh?
Ask Nancy if it's okay.
Just give her some John Mayer tickets. Just give her those John. Hey, just tweet her right now. Hey, I got those John Mayer tickets for you. Heard you're interested from 10 years ago.
Kevin says, wife is an ER nurse. She's been wearing the female version for about a year when she goes to work. Better than getting blood and crap all over the band rock every time in her case. Very true.
Yep.
Daniel says, yeah, especially while working out. Killed my ring finger if I wore my metal one while training. That makes sense.
Yep.
Let's see.
Flex. That was a little bit of a flex, but I like it.
Yeah, it didn't add how much he lifts.
Yeah.
Is that all we got? Yeah, I think that's all we got for now. But interesting comments on the ring. I've got something. We're going to get into a little bit of the Madden talk and some Jaguars and where they could rank, and if you like the game a little bit. Madden, you said will come out in right around football season?
It's usually like I think August, second week or third week in August.
Okay, yeah, because you see them all over the locker room. Actually, guys get copies of it, and Lamar Jackson is on the cover this year. But before we get to that, I had a leftover topic from the weekend from yesterday. I want to ask you a little bit about Greg Popovich, San Antonio Spurs coach. Legendary coach. Much like Steve Kerr, I would put him in this category, and there might be others, have been very critical of President Trump at times, openly, but also, let's take it away from the political end for a moment and say, very open and not sitting on a fence when it comes to some social issues at times. I think players appreciate that. They took stances and usually having the players back. If you will.
Yeah.
NBA is a very liberal league as it is, and I think these guys have made it clear as day they're pretty liberal on that side as well. Fair enough? Right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
My question to you is, over the weekend, he ripped Goodell, Roger Goodell, the NFL commissioner, for not taking more of a stance years ago with the Kaepernick situation, and what he called basically cowering to the thoughts of President Trump at the time. But again, I'm going to take the politics side out of it, even though I understand that it's a little bit a part of it. Popovich goes after Goodell, essentially.
He does.
How much of this, I don't get like this very often. I'm okay, and I had to kind of ask myself this over and over again when I thought about it. But I'm just going to be honest and share my first thought. How much was like, all right, Pop, like, it's okay that you speak out like Kerr does too. Like, I appreciate that about coaches. Everybody else is so tight to the vest. Like, maybe we don't all agree all the time, or no, not everybody agrees, but I appreciate that you speak out, you protect your players, you defend your players. But my first reaction to that one was kind of like, stay in your lane.
Yeah.
On Popovich. Is that a reaction to have? I'm not sure. It's like, it's almost like sometimes I hear a little bit too much, but I want to be careful, because it was like LeBron James. Didn't he do something with Major League Baseball like that a few months back where he kind of commented about what was going on? I want to say it was in Major League Baseball.
Okay.
And people were like, stay in your lane. And I'm like, wait a minute now. Everybody can have an opinion.
Sure.
So that's where I get mixed up on. I'm like, well, everybody can have an opinion. But I just don't. I don't know. I thought it was a little misplaced was my first reaction from just the idea. Forget about what was said. The idea that Popovich is saying something about another commissioner in another sport.
Yeah. Well, listen, I mean, I think in terms of social issues, like Popovich has I mean, listen, you can make the argument, well, why is he talking about Donald Trump? I mean, why are you talking about Roger Goodell? You know, you put it in the same category. But
I don't know if I do, though, because everybody has a right to, like they have a right to vote, you know, and stuff like that. Again, right to an opinion with Goodell, but it's not his league. It just felt different. Like, it's almost like if you want to say something about politics and how you believe, well, it's almost like, okay, you want to say something about religion, what you believe and your platform, it's okay. Yeah. It's like, but I don't know, should Popovich, a head coach in the NBA, be crossing over to the NFL and getting in their business?
I mean, but at the same point, Brent, like, we come on this show all the time and we rip national analysts who say things that we don't agree with. You know, and like, that's not us staying in our lane. That's us having an opinion. But let's be honest, though. We get paid for our opinion.
Well, and our job is to get in everybody's business.
Exactly. No, for sure. No, listen, I think Popovich has every right to comment on Roger Goodell, but I'll be honest with you. I didn't like the context, okay? Because once again, you know, this is the culture right now where we pull receipts. And I get it. You hold people accountable. Accountability is absolute. But let's be honest right now, you know, and we talked about this with Maurice Jones-Drew a little bit. Roger Goodell has kind of come around to the player's side a little bit. You know, he's at least making an effort to support players and their causes, you know, and then the right to protest. Now, that's different than what Roger Goodell was, you know, 4 or 5 years ago. So the fact that Popovich is really pulling receipts and saying, well, where were you a couple of years ago? Listen, yeah, we can all ask that question, but what's important right now is the final destination. Right now, where we're at today is Roger Goodell seems to be supporting his players. Okay, like I think sometimes we want to cancel people out or we want to call people out, but like we don't admire the change that they actually made. You know, like if anything, Popovich calling Roger Goodell, it should be like, yeah, look at him. 4 or 5 years ago, look where he was, and now look at where he's at. You know, like now that can be a way of making your point, but also being productive. I just don't think there's any way to be productive when you call somebody out and they've already tried to make the change.
Yeah, it is. It's fascinating. You know, Greenberg asked a really good question yesterday, and I guess maybe he's been talking about it on some of his shows on TV, and I just missed it. But he asked a question, and I'm flat out stealing it. Sure. But it comes to light in this specific issue. And because I actually said it to myself when I saw the quote from Goodell. Mm-hmm. When he said, hey, I encourage a team to sign Kaepernick. And your first reaction to that is that the commissioner's saying it, says like, where were you a few years ago?
Sure.
Like, that is an instant reaction. Like, where were you on that? Like, but the next question, and this is what Greenberg asked, and I thought it was really powerful, really interesting, and you get a deep dive on it probably yourself, is why the change? What has prompted this change? I think he asked it to Matt Ryan. Mm-hmm. He's like, why do we've all said this, right, over the last few weeks. This feels different.
Yeah.
Right? People were on board. We started the show even today. We said,
absolutely right.
You know, we're talking about, hey, it's okay to say things now that you wouldn't say for college players, for Kaepernick defenders, for couldn't say those things without, whoa, a few years ago. Why? You know, it is an interesting question. Why? I don't know if I have the answer.
Yeah.
I thought he posed an interesting question, though, and and Goodell is really almost like the poster child to that.
Sure.
It's like, you could have done this years ago. You could have helped prompt change. You could have helped prompt, you know, a faster move toward this movement.
Listen,
why now?
And maybe he was in the owner's pockets. Maybe he tried to appease the owners more than the players, and maybe that's the case. But I just go back to the point that I'm trying to make now. I'm all for pulling out receipts, and I'm all for looking back on the timeline and calling people out. But when you do that, and I get every case is different, so it's hard for me to comment on one case. But when you pull out the receipts and when you call somebody out, it has to be for a reason. And usually that reason should be, you know what? They have to take accountability, right? I'm trying to teach them a lesson like, listen, you can't do this stuff. Get better. Be better. I mean, I've done it myself. I did it myself with the kombucha company, okay? They said something I didn't agree with. I put them on blast, and I'm done with them, and it is what it is, okay? But, like, with Roger Goodell's case and Popovich's case, what was the point, okay? Because Roger Goodell is making progress. He is trying to encourage people to hire Colin Kaepernick. Now, listen, I don't know what got him from point A to point B. And right now, to be fair, I'm not sure that's really important. But what's important is if you pull out the receipts and you call somebody out, do it for a reason. And I think when you call Roger Goodell like Popovich did, there's no point to it because he's already changed. He's trying to be a better person. So why call him out?
Yeah, it's well said. And I think as you say that, something runs through my mind is that if you think about Goodell's case, there's an acknowledgement that, hey, you're right, we should have done more.
Sure.
So why piggyback on that?
Yeah.
Why beat that down when the guy already acknowledged it? In his statement, he said, we should have listened more. Matt Ryan said last night when answering that question from Greenberg, hey, we should have been doing more. We're late, but we got to do what we can now.
We're here now.
You know, so I like that viewpoint, by the way. I just thought it is a powerful question, though, and something that the history books may tell us more than we can even answer correctly right this moment. When we come back, Madden cover, but Madden players. How much do the players really care about it? And what would the Jags look like in the 2021 edition? Next on ESPN 690.
From First Take to your radio.
Everybody is out because of the coronavirus. All the conditions that are restrictive to one is restrictive to all. And if somebody was smart enough to be dedicated during this time, more so than somebody else, those were probably going to be the champions any damn way. Get over it.
First Take, your take from 1 to 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN News.
Oh, it's hot in Jacksonville. Summer is here. Hotter weather means your family should be drinking more water. Stay hydrated, but make sure you do it in a healthy way. Take care of your family by having clean, purified water. That's what we have in our house. With a Kinetico system from CGC Water, you can remove up to 99% of contaminants. And right now, you can get an incredible offer, a free A200 reverse osmosis drinking water system with the purchase of a Kinetico Premier Softener. Call CGC at 904-552-1242. CGC will test your tap water so you can better understand what's in your water. That's important. It's free, and there is no obligation to buy anything. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. And while you're on the website, CGC wants your help to recognize frontline workers. They've been doing a great job. Nominate a worker, and they might get a free RO system. cgcwater.com, serving Northeast Florida and Southeastern Georgia. CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Kinetico dealer.
Hello, business owners. We're all in this together. Our company, CMG Jacksonville, knows you need clients to trust your brand. We have the right people and the ideal platforms to help you do that. It's important to advertise now more than ever. Now, to create an unbreakable loyalty to your brand, CMG Jacksonville can help you make that happen.
Hi, I'm Phil Howard, and they call me Profit Manager here at Cox Media Group because my only focus is to deliver advertising and marketing results for the businesses I work with. Our 8 radio stations and extensive online marketing tools, which include partnerships with Facebook and Google, have done just that for many local businesses. I'm here for you and to help you grow strategically. Call me at 451-2872. That's 451-2872. I want to be your profit manager.
Everyone's loving what Diamonds Direct is doing right now. It's the best stimulus plan ever. 5 years, 0 interest financing on any purchase with no money down. It's Diamonds Direct's way of helping you make your money go further as we all look forward to better days. Just pick any item in Diamonds Direct showcases. Get the amazing value price you know we're known for. Make no down payment and spread your payments over 5 years without paying a dime in interest. That means a $6,000 designer ring is yours for just $100 a month. This makes everything more affordable at a time when we need it most. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, bands, colored gemstones, designer fashion jewelry. Take the price, divide by 60, and that's your payment. You can even finance the sales tax. Celebrate summer, celebrate life, celebrate love with Diamonds Direct's most spectacular offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest with nothing down. Now for a limited time on approved credit. Diamonds Direct.
Off Town Center Parkway.
Call Zero Res. They are offering to clean and protect every surface in your home for 25% off. Also nominate a family in need, and Zero Res will clean the carpets in one home each day for absolutely free. Zero Res spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Spay or neuter your pet. Help them live a longer, happy life. First Coast No More Homeless Pets has free and low-cost programs available now. Make your appointment today. Call 425-0005, 425-0005, or fcnmhp.org.
Okay, boss, here's the house. Been watching it all week. And you're sure it only has a big blue alarm system? Yep.
That means we should have all the time we need.
Yeah, still can't believe Big Blue Alarm is allowing their employees to monitor alarm systems while they're working from home.
Yeah, let's see, how many times do I get distracted when I'm at my house?
Right? Let's just hope the Big Blue operator monitoring this house just started binge-watching a TV show.
Meanwhile, right across the street, Safe Touch is still as steady as can be with the fastest guaranteed response time anywhere.
And that is why we're standing on the outside of the house with the Big Blue Alarm.
Just following the Crooks of Us motto, stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Yeah. All right, let's get busy.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Are you now worried about how to continue providing the same level of service to your customers? Many service-oriented businesses are struggling to create new ways to maintain their customers. What happens to those that haven't been able to adapt? At SCORE, we can help by offering advice and resources through a vast library of online information and timely webinars. Since 1964, SCORE has assisted more than 11 million entrepreneurs and small business owners. Go to our website, jacksonville.score.org, to see how we can help you today.
Reliant Roofing, Solar, and Hurricane Shutters is pleased to announce its 4th annual Every Shingle Heart Initiative. This year, they will give a free roof to one healthcare worker or first responder in Northeast Florida. The individuals who've been making the ultimate sacrifice over the last several months during the COVID-19 pandemic. Reliant wants to return the favor to someone in these fields. To nominate someone, you can visit their website, reliantroofing.com/Every Shingle Heart. Nominations will open June 15th until July 31st. The recipient chosen will be announced on August 15th, 2020.
Every home has things it needs, things that need to be maintained, fixed, or replaced. The Home Depot is here to help you get it done. You can easily find what you need on our app, order it online with the push of a button, and have it brought to your door with free delivery on over 1 million items. We have the essentials you need, the online know-how you may need to do it yourself, and low prices that make it all possible. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
It's time for some straight talk. Even though most live sports are on hold now, big wireless companies haven't stopped playing games. They're always trying to lock you into overpriced contracts. With Straight Talk Wireless, there are no contracts. It runs on America's best network, same as the big carriers, but you save up to 50%. $45 a month gets you the unlimited plan with 25 gigs of high-speed data, then 2G. You might miss sports, but don't play games, you'll lose. Straight Talk Wireless. No contracts, no compromise. Savings may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jags.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio. This is Action Sports Jags on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
One of the things that we're all going to have to do, just like we did with the draft, is adapt and change and do things that we might have thought were impossible several weeks ago, even months ago.
That's Commissioner Roger Goodell. I thought it was a really good program last night. Shows you the power of ESPN. They're smart. They also can make a lot of things happen. And Mike Greenberg hosted basically a roundtable. It was in a bunch of interviews with all the commissioners in sports, and it was pretty good stuff if you're really into it. Now, it can be a lot. We understand that. We try to talk some of it. We try not to talk too much of it, but it is kind of the way of the times. I mean, we are seeing sports that are just – they're on the seesaw. One day it's this way, one day it's that way, and it just kind of is the way of our world right now. It's amazing how much sports in the COVID-19 and sports and Black Lives Matter movement have kind of merged together and impact one another, if you will. And that's happening. That's why some of the discussions continue. On a much lighter note, Madden 2021.
Yep.
Now, listen, I'm not a gamer. Mm-hmm. You guys are gamers.
Better believe it.
But you don't seem like the Madden gamer. Like, there's this level of, this is my view of it, okay? Again, very
casual.
Very casual, very novice, very like old man kind of view.
I think people would call that a newbie.
Okay, fair enough.
Right, Kuz?
Like, I used to play video games quite a bit as a kid.
Nailed it.
But I
Still got it.
never got into them. Like, once I hit...
Did you play any baseball games? Ken Griffey Jr.'s?
No.
Oh, shame on you. Even Mike Piazza had one.
Yeah, like, I remember playing some form or fashion of, like, The Show.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's very realistic, and it was really good. But honestly, I don't remember, like, when that was, what...
Okay.
But at the time, for maybe, say, the year 2000 or something, it was pretty good.
Sure. Oh, man. That's as real as it gets, Brent.
Yeah.
I mean, press Y to take steroids, press B to say no thanks. Like, I mean, dude, they had everything covered in that game. You better believe it.
I didn't take steroids enough in it. But anyway, my point being, like, I grew up playing video games, and if it wasn't Pac-Man, and a lot of people played, like, Zelda, right? I never got into that, but a lot of people did.
Go ahead and say, call them nerds. I know you want to. I saw that in your face.
Those nerds played Zelda.
Grow up, Brent.
That was actually not just a nerd thing.
No, heck, hey, I mean, I guess I'm a nerd, but yeah.
Nah, I was like in the
into
minority.
Zelda. Sure.
Like I did not. It didn't do much for me. But
you were kind of the nerd for not playing it.
I was.
Yeah.
No, really, I was.
Yeah.
Like I knew I was in the minority.
Sure.
But I'm always like a Pac-Man guy, and even a Mario Brothers.
There we go. Okay, name dropping, flexing. I see you.
But I still would lean toward the sports games.
Sure.
Baseball, football, whatever. But I also, Madden came alive a little bit after I was playing video games. And it was like, boom, right?
Yeah.
Madden became a thing.
Yeah.
And Madden has now shifted to Fortnite and go ahead. I can't even list the other games.
I mean, you got Apex Legends, you got Call of Duty. Yeah, you got Warzone, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, right?
Yeah, you're hitting all these. Yeah, you're doing a great job right now.
So I don't feel like Ty loves sports.
Sure.
Loves them. He has Madden. I think he has one of the MLB games. I think he even has an NBA game. And once in a while, they'll play him. But 99 out of 100 times, he's playing Fortnite still.
Sure.
With his buddies.
Yeah.
So that's how I view video games now. Like, I don't view it as kids or you guys are playing the Madden games.
See, and I think that's a pretty correct observation there. Obviously, there's always going to be like the diehard fan base of Madden, and they're always going to be reliable to buy the next game. But like what makes Fortnite, what makes Call of Duty, what makes those online playing experiences so cool is the fact that they're always evolving, right? There's only so much that you can do with Madden. Right, like Madden had the hit stick, and it was like, oh, if you hit R3, you can really hit a player and hurt him, like oh, that was the big thing. And then all of a sudden, it was the truck stick, where and maybe that's why the cat Peyton Hillis actually got the cover, because I think they brought out the truck stick, where if you're running with the ball, you hit L3, you can lower your shoulder and deliver a punishing blow.
L3,
yeah, and that was the truck stick, So like. There's only so much you can do, though, in football games, right? Like, yeah, you're going to update the rosters, obviously. And yes, there's always going to be trades, and you can update the rosters that way. And yeah, teams every single year will be different rankings, but there's only so much you can do. It's still football at the end of the day, Like, as opposed to, like, Modern Warfare, where it's like, well, dang, now all of a sudden we got new guns, we got new levels. Like, it never ends. There's only so much you can do with sports games.
Like, and that would be the question right now. Like, is that the reason why people are playing the warfare games, or is it the fact that either one, you like guns, or you're not going to really shoot guns, but here's your chance?
To me, it's about convenience, right? Because if you were to buy a game of Madden on PlayStation or Xbox, you're spending like $60, sometimes $70. To play Fortnite, to play Apex Legends, free $99.
Okay, well, that's another good.
Yeah,
that's probably should have been the lead.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, because when you agree, that's a big selling point.
That's the lead
that's
story.
That's 100% it, and it's like there's more to it. Like they're making a lot of money, but yes, that is the main reason. Is the games that the kids are playing right now, all of them were free to start.
Yeah, dude, it's the Candy Crush effect.
See, that's how we could get Converse back. Is we just give them out for free instead of Nike being 120.
But there's no shoelaces, so you have to buy shoelaces.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, those Larry Bird Converse.
Larry Bird Converse for free.
For example, like video games this year, just to put it in perspective, video games this quarter outsold the most they've ever done.
Yeah.
$9.3 billion was in-game purchases.
Yeah.
So like adding an extra life on an app or adding a new skin in Fortnite, like that's what people are doing.
It's like in those old video games, you used to like have to hit a certain level to get a free play or whatever. Well, now you buy the free play.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, and actually, I wrote a story. I did a paper on this for college. Actually, one of my senior papers was so Candy Crush. When Candy Crush was really humming, do you know how much money they made a year? $1.26 billion.
Why?
With
off the ad?
Because you only got to play 5 rounds, and once you ran out, you had to wait.
More. So the appeal was, hey, it's free, man. Free game. Why not? Let's give it a try. All right, and I've never played Candy Crush before, so I don't really know the whole premise of it. But like, oh, it's free. Let's give it a try.
It's like a matching game.
Oh, wait, all of a sudden I have to pay money to get this? Well, I got to have that. I got to pay money to get this. And all of a sudden people became addicted.
Like you move the levels, right? You see how far you can go. Well, if you get on a run, you get like 5 levels, and you get to a level that's kind of harder, and then you get to a spot where you die 5 times, essentially didn't pass the level 5 times. Well, they go, oh, you can use your rubies to get past this.
One click of the button, there it is, $1.99.
So
much like
you
Amazon.
can play the game and beat it for free, but you can have a better experience if you spend money on it.
I think
that's
we're
the
about
point of
to
games
change
these
the
days.
game. Why don't we just give the first hour of the show free and charge everybody 99 cents for the second hour?
I love it. I love it.
Like if Madden was
can we do that?
Yeah, just have Kuz like in the video. Hey, sorry, your time's ran out. In order to get more, I mean, yeah, you can definitely do that.
I mean, I don't know if it's compelling enough.
Well, I'm not going to lie.
But if it's one click, people will do it.
Well, Brent, let's be honest. So that's one step away from Cam Soda. I mean, if you want to go all in with the Cam Soda account, let's go all in then, because that's essentially what it is.
I mean, I'm not afraid to do it. I'm not afraid to. I was thinking this too, okay? And I was thinking this the other day. This could be the end of the show right here, by the way. This could be the end of the show. I understand this. I'm risking a lot right here.
I'm nervous.
How do you set up a... Okay.
I have the dump button ready.
I don't understand. I don't understand.
Oh,
Careful
no.
now. Careful.
The 32-year-old married guy.
Oh, wow. Call me out, though.
That's literally you.
Calling me out, though.
The 45-year-old married guy with 3 kids and, like, the CEO banking job.
Okay.
I just don't get all you old people
Why
playing
we
video
do it?
games.
Okay, so first of all, he said you people, and I'm offended.
Don't understand it.
Especially in this climate, I'm a little offended.
Like, video games, as I knew them, you stopped playing when you were, like, 16, 15.
By the way,
that's no, seriously, that's how we grew up on them.
Sure.
Right?
Keep going. I'm not going to lose my mind at all over this.
Now I met somebody that I
punch you
really...
in the face at all.
This is why the show could end, because I like a lot of you people that do this.
Once again, you people. Yep.
But I just don't understand. Like, I met a guy in the parking lot as talking baseball at Ty's game.
Yeah.
And it's crossed my mind. And I was like, he mentioned, he's like, oh, yeah, and I love playing the video. I'm like,
yeah, sounds like a pretty cool guy.
I'm like, you do? Like, you really? Like, how much do you play? Every night.
Keep going.
I don't get it.
Our boss plays.
I cannot connect.
Okay.
I know our boss plays. That's why I said it could be the end of the show.
Cruz, all right. So, do you want to explain to it why I try to gather my thoughts and not lunge across and beat Brent Martin with my skateboard over here?
I've got a few things. So, for me specifically, and I think it's different for you, Brent, because when I started playing, the first time I really was able to understand a game for the story mode of it was when Xbox Live was a thing. So I would play video games with my buddies on Xbox Live, so they weren't even at my house.
Yep.
So my friend who lives in Vegas, when he gets off work, for him, he's off work. It's like, midnight here almost, but he'll get off work and we'll hop on a game. I haven't actually seen him physically in probably 3 years, but we talk every night. It's essentially a phone call with your best buddy, but it's less weird because you're playing a video game.
Let me ask you this, Brent. And, obviously me and Kuz have them. I assume you have some friends out there. I hope you do. Maybe not. I don't know how. I don't know. The fact that you chosen to die on this hill, it upsets me a little bit.
I believe it's the secret of life is to not have many friends.
Okay, well, keep your enemies close.
To be fair, having to make this wedding list, not having a lot of friends would have helped.
And you know, of all the time that I've known you, this is going to be the hill that you're probably going to die on, and that's okay.
I'm just being honest. This is this is an honest moment.
No, this is a truthful spot. To echo Kuz's sentiments here, he's absolutely right. Because listen, once again, I'm not sure how your friends work and everything like that, but when I call my friends who I haven't seen in a year or so, and I call them on the phone, hey, dude, what's going on? It's awkward, man. Right? Like, girls do that. I'm not trying to be sexist.
No, but it's like text me if you want to talk. Just text me. That's weird.
Yeah, like I mean, girls are into that. Like like catching up and gossiping and everything. Dudes don't do that. Like guys got to get online. Accomplish some tasks while they're talking through stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. We have life-changing conversations. We have these. I mean, if you could record the conversations that I have with my friends back in Wisconsin, Brent, it would be its own podcast. It would be its own TED Talk. I mean, we're talking epiphanies like you wouldn't believe. But at the same time, we're also killing these zombies and got to make sure they don't get to the base because if we do, man, game over. You know what I'm saying? So it's balancing the serious conversations, the laughing conversations with accomplishing a task. And somehow accomplishing that task when you're doing it makes it okay. If I was to call my friend, AP, one of my best friends at home, and be like, hey, dude, oh, man, I just had one of those days at work. Like Brent's all over me, man.
It's weird,
I had to walk out. I had to take a minute for myself. You get what I'm saying? Like, my friend would be like, dude, what are you doing right now? Like that's what you're married for. Like don't put that on me. That's my best friend. I mean, I grew up with that kid, but like that's the way at least I function. I think Kuz functions like the exact same way.
It's literally like being able to, and actually the other side of it too. You meet new people. So like one of my friends.
That's you. That's not me. Yeah.
One of my friends who I play with, he's got other buddies that he wants to play with as well. So then we just squad up. And I've met one's a doctor. Remember I was telling you someone was talking about how they had to go to the hospital. So it's cool. It's a way to socialize.
To me, it's like, again, I'm not it's like the whole Zelda conversation. I understand I'm in the minority here. I think of two things, like what my wife would say to me if every night I was on the video game like Ty is.
Well, listen, you wait till they fall asleep and then you sneak out.
Well, dude, and I'm the worst person because, I mean, you know how I operate. Dude. I mean, I'm watching wrestling and I'm watching anime. So go ahead and ask Cody how she feels about it because I'm sure she's wondering, who did I marry?
Yeah, a little bit, probably. Yeah. But it kind of is like going to poker night. Mm-hmm. Poker night became like a big thing.
Yeah.
Again, it's not something I do. But my buddy back home, it's not poker night, but they play high-low jack. Okay. And he does it like once a week.
There you go.
And so I kind of liken it, I guess, to that.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
And you go with your buddies and go have a pop and play some poker and maybe exchange some cash.
Yeah, yeah.
And then also, to your point, Kuz, you're meeting some new folks because your buddy brought you, but it's another group of friends in there and all that stuff. So, I mean, in that sense, I get it, but it's just weird for me because I grew up in this time. It's not like I'm that old, man. I'm like 43, and I grew up in a time where like you stopped playing video games when you were like 15.
A little bit with these comments. Yeah, I hear you.
But people my age are back to playing video games. Yeah. And I think that's the thing. Like, did you put it down ever? Because you're in a weird age group. So you're like, okay, so your age group, you never really put it down.
Never put it down.
But my age group, the people that are playing now, they put it down.
Yeah.
Like at 43 years old, if you're 43, you did not play video games at 20.
Yeah.
You probably didn't play them at 24, and you might not even have played them at 28. Yeah. I don't think. But now you're playing them.
Sure.
That is odd to me. I mean, I never went back into it.
Yeah. It's funny that you were talking about this because, so my stepdad, Mark, who we called the Bison, he had a resurgence of video games when I was in high school. And to the point where he would spend 3.5 hours in the garage playing a game, a pop. And he was just addicted to it. And I guess I would compare it to listen, everyone's got their own little thing to pass some time. People use crossword puzzles, Sudoku puzzles. I mean, there's different ways to pass the time. Golf, there you go. Thank you. I guess with video games, man, it's almost like a nostalgia thing where it's like, wow, look at how far these video games have come. Like, for instance, with my stepdad, it was like, man, I remember playing Pong on the Atari. And now, I'm playing PlayStation. It's like, it's insane. So
I had Odyssey.
Exactly, right? So that's kind of where I'm at as well, where it's, obviously they've been a part of my life my entire life, and they've always evolved, and it's almost like I'm kind of watching it grow. I'm growing with it. I'm evolving with it. And maybe it's just me trying to turn back the hands of time a little bit. Maybe it's me getting ready to have a little breakdown where it's like, all right, I'm going to be 40 years old when I'm adult in my life. But like right now, it's just like, man, it's crazy how far they've come, and I still want to be a part of it.
The question is, will you be playing video games at age 50?
Oh, I have a son.
Will you be playing video games at age 60?
Yeah. To be fair, I don't see myself changing anytime soon, especially now with my son who's getting into video games himself. So, we played this game. It's called Death Stranding, because you know about it. Literally all
stressful.
So stressful. And a lot of adult situations, if you will, that I had to explain to my son, listen, this is not how the real world works. Okay, there's not oil zombies from the apocalypse that can get up and grab you. It's going to be okay.
Does Cody know he's playing this game?
Oh, she's watching it today. Because we have one family TV. So when it's Death Stranding time, it's Death Stranding time for the whole family. If Cody wants to put in her headphones and do something on the computer, by all means. But until that time, me and Ronan...
Sounds like she has a lot of that time.
Well, I know. But until that time...
There's a reason every night.
Yeah, but until that time, obviously, the tribe has spoken because she's outnumbered 2-1, and we want to play Death Stranding. And obviously, it's a majority rules. So, yeah, my son literally he loved just watching it. Like, the graphics and just, obviously, the storyline got a little intense. I had to turn it down and mute it so you couldn't hear any swearing. But, he was all into it. And now he wants to start playing Call of Duty. He's still a little too young for that. He's 5 years old. But, I can see myself being 40 years old and playing video games with my son. That's going to be a cool day.
40's fine.
50, 60, 70 years old.
That, I haven't envisioned the 60-year-old guy playing video games because I have a hell of a time envisioning the 45-year-old guy.
Let's just say I can see myself hopefully at 95 years old on my deathbed playing Call of Duty in space, and I'm just like, one more round, as I'm to every last breath. Yeah, and I'm talking to my boys back home, all right, well, I might have one more round, and this is gonna be it. Meanwhile, my wife's like, don't, you spend some time with your family. Hang on, baby, I got one more round in me. Let's go. Let's get those zombies in space. That'll be my life at 90. I can see it.
I wonder how your reflexes are performing at that time. Your reaction time.
Well, if they keep playing video games, rent on the money. Let's just hope.
Okay, so from that to Madden coming out, that's how we got. I didn't expect a TED Talk on video games, but I do feel like I just got off the couch.
Yeah.
And somebody just sat me down.
Well, and
I feel like I just went to a psychologist.
Speaking of psychologists, do you want me to be your friend, dude? If you want to call me up and talk sometime, I'm here for you.
No, my buddy and I don't play video games.
Okay.
And we're in the minority.
Yeah.
And we must be like a couple of girls and still talk on the phone.
Oh, you guys are gossiping? Okay.
I don't think we're gossiping.
Oh, Brent comes home, takes his shoes off. Oh, what a day. Okay, that's fine, man. Hey, to each their own.
Not necessarily, but not too far away. I thought Bluetooth was still a thing. It's that's okay. Not talking. Not the headset. No.
Okay, good.
AirPods.
Okay, better.
At that point, you're essentially might as well just also be playing a video game. You've got headphones on. You're talking to somebody.
You're halfway in the pool. Just jump in, Brent. Come on.
I'm not jumping in.
Join us.
Lamar Jackson's on the cover of Madden.
Yeah.
I still never really got the answer of that. Or do a lot of people play Madden? I don't know. It feels like Madden's Madden, but it would seem like the Madden players are going down in numbers based off what you guys are talking about. But who knows? I'm sure they're doing just fine. But Lamar Jackson's on the cover. Jags players, you got to take us through this real quick.
Okay.
We got to go name the Jags players.
Yep. Well, so obviously, Brent, so when we talk about Madden, each player is made up of different attributes, right? So, there's probably 50 of them, but I kind of pick the big 5, the big 6 categories that, when you get drafted by an NFL team, the first thing you go on Madden is you look for these attributes. For instance, my speed was about a 75. That was BS. I ran a 4.8. Show me some respect. Defensive end, 275 pounds. But regardless of that, we're going to have awareness. We're going to have speed. We're going to have acceleration. We're going to have agility, and we're going to have strength, Brent. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to name the category, and I want you to hear what player on the Jacksonville Jaguars you think would be the highest in this category. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
All right, cool. So let's start out with strength.
Are you going to jump in too?
Me?
Yeah.
Sure.
Do you have a guess?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Kuz, want to jump in? Feel free to jump in as well. So, strength, Brent. What's Jacksonville Jaguar would be the 99 overall in strength? To me, this is too easy.
Too easy?
Too easy. Too easy, Brent.
In strength.
Yep. So now keep in mind, not necessarily the strongest on the team, but strongest by position, too, you could go by. Right? Just saying. So, for instance, like, there's running backs out there that are 99 overall strength.
So if Jalen was still on the team, you could have done Jalen? Because he's the best corner, ranking-wise?
Well, is he the break? Yeah, I mean, he could be the highest in strength. I mean, I don't think he's really that strong of a guy. Maybe. I don't know. I've never seen him bench press
That's
before.
That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't pick him as the strongest guy.
Correct.
But I could pick him as the strongest of players?
Yeah, correct.
Or is that two different categories?
No, it's two different categories. So strength is, I should probably, make this a little more unique here.
We're talking in the weight room here.
Strength is the weight room. Strength is on the field, like who's a heavy hitter it could be.
Okay.
Who could push somebody out. Yeah.
You say this is obvious. That makes me nervous.
Okay. Well, then you should be.
I was thinking Jawan Taylor.
Not bad. Not the obvious choice.
Because I don't think they make many right tackles like him.
No, definitely not. And you know what? That's not a bad choice. For me personally, though I said it was obvious, I'm going Laviska Shenault. If you're a wide receiver and you squat 550,
good call.
Excuse me. So I think it's Shenault. But no, Jawan Taylor's a perfect one.
That's a good one.
Yep.
All right, what's next?
All right, so the next category we're going to go with agility. Usually this goes to the slot receivers, obviously. Prime example, top agility would be like a Tyreek Hill, Brent.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. Agility. Who you take with agility here?
I tell you, man, I got two, and one that might surprise you.
Okay.
Because I think maybe the best athlete on the team could be Miles Jack.
Okay.
But I also want to put in Chris Conley here because he's got a 45-inch vertical.
Okay, but once again, agility. We're not judging, but we're not judging height. We're not judging.
I understand.
We're not judging vertical jump. We're judging agility.
I'm going to go with Dede.
I took mine. That was mine too as well. Dede Westbrook. Yeah, I think a guy that can realistically play all three spots of the wide receiver position. Obviously, footwork is big playing the wide receiver position, especially in the slot. So I think we're kind of we agree here in terms of Dede Westbrook and agility. Acceleration. Who's got that fast twitch, Brent? Go give that fast twitch guy on the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Need more of them. God, that's a tough
fast
one,
twitch,
man.
Yep. Explosive guy.
Because Fournette has a little bit, not enough of this in him. Like, that's the knock on him, is he doesn't have enough of that.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing.
Really caters to the offensive guy, by the way.
Sure. See, mine's gonna probably offend some people, but
you were probably gonna go Conley.
No, not even close.
Can I make like Josh Allen into this guy? Or Jan?
Acceleration. Ooh, Yannick Ngakoue, acceleration.
Yes.
I like it because it's closing speed, right?
Quick first step,
exactly.
Closing speed.
I like it.
More so, like, again, I think you could put Conley. I just don't label them that way.
Sure.
Like, I label Jan that way. He's a speed rusher, right?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I like it, man. For me, and listen, I could be a little biased. I could be a homer here, but I'm going by what Doug Marrone said. I'm going Quincy Williams. Said he was the fastest guy on the field, with all due respect to Dede Westbrook. Remember that press conference? So there you go. I
like that.
I'm going off Doug Marrone's
that's a fair
word.
Pick, man.
Okay, good.
I wouldn't even think of him, but I think that's a fair point.
I haven't forgotten about my Murray State dude. All right, speed, top end speed now. This is where you make your bread. This is probably every single play when you get drafted, the first thing that you look at when you play that Madden
Everybody
game.
wants to be the fastest guy.
Of course, man. I mean, there's so much just drawn to speed.
You know the guy with the fastest speed time, by the way, straight line speed time over the last couple of years on several occasions has been Fournette. He's one of the fastest speed times in the league.
That's true. Yep.
Which is, again, I don't think people relate that to. I understand, but he has. Like, when it's a straight line, with the ball in his hands, he gets moving.
Yep. Speed. Once again, it can be any position. Obviously, it gets tied more to offense again.
Yeah, again, but I lean defense, man. I think I put like a Miles
Miles Jack?
Sideline to sideline, I think he has a big advantage at that position than others. Like if Telvin was still playing this position, I would have probably picked even a Telvin.
Sure.
More so
absolutely.
than I look at these other. I'm not saying these guys aren't fast, DJ Chark, Chris Conley.
Yeah.
And they've added actually speed to their arsenal on offense. I just don't say, wow, man, that guy can fly, because you're comparing him to guys like over the years, like a Chris Johnson at running back or Tyreek Hill now. I don't feel like the Jags have that kind of offensive guy.
It's a good call.
But I do feel like they have it on with Miles on that weak side. I don't think people measure up to Miles.
Yeah. I'm not mad at that
But
pick.
if you put Miles in a race with it, he's going to finish like 15th on the team.
Yeah, but you're not thinking about it like you're supposed to, though. You're supposed to think about it at the position group. Like for a linebacker, obviously Miles Jack, athletic, and has a lot of speed. You know, it's just like for Chenault's case, like, yeah, there's probably stronger guys on the team, but for a wide receiver to squat over 550 pounds, like that's your strength is up there.
Yeah, my first two picks on this was going to be him and Henderson, because CJ Henderson, I think, can fly.
For sure. So you on Jack or you on Henderson?
I'm going to go Miles.
See, I'm going Keelan Cole.
All
now,
right.
I mean, I don't know if a lot of that has to do with like his special teams capabilities. Maybe he's just his frame where you obviously have to be fast because you're not the biggest kind of dude. But I'm taking Keelan Cole in terms of speed. Last one, Brent. And it's the first one on the list when you go to Madden. It's awareness, okay? Now, obviously, we talk about awareness. Avery Jones, about a 10 at awareness because he still owes me money from our bet. He hasn't paid me yet. It's been about 6 years now. So, Avery Jones, unfortunately, I'm going to contact Madden and make sure that your awareness goes down to about at least a 10 or a 15 at the very most.
Awareness. Okay, here's where my mind goes on the awareness front. It goes to two places. One, it goes to Gardner Minshew for his ability to escape the pocket.
Okay.
For his ability to create plays off schedule. That's awareness of getting out of there. Some people say a little too early. I don't know if I want to give him that because I knew there was going to be a category like this. I didn't know exactly what it was labeled. And my immediate reaction was, isn't that what they brought Joe Schobert in for?
You took mine. Yeah, that was mine. Absolutely.
I feel like that's why he's here.
Correct.
Because I kind of think awareness is IQ.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, so.
Well, yeah, I guess to put awareness into one category, into one label, it'd be like being in the right place at the right time is what I consider awareness.
Yeah.
And I think we can both agree Joe Schobert was brought in to do that job.
would have been on that top of the list.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
there you go.
I don't hate Gardner in that either, though, the way he played last year.
It's not a bad idea. Listen, and I think one of the biggest questions.
That's a nice compliment, too.
One of the biggest questions, though, in Madden this year, Brett, and this is something you obviously have a stake on, is what is Kyler Murray going to be ranked and what is Gardner Minshew going to be ranked?
Well, we know Kyler Murray is going to be ranked ahead.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm curious to see what Madden thinks about Gardner Minshew. Now, does Madden's overall take rule? Absolutely not. But players look at this kind of stuff. I mean, players take this stuff really seriously.
All right, one last question for you.
Yeah.
I brought this up earlier in the show, and I said, hey, from a long shot perspective, a guy like Minshew, over the years, I think Ramsey had the ability to be on the cover of Madden. I think Mojo had the ability to be on the cover of Madden. Somebody said Fred Taylor, and listen, I love Fred, but Fred, from a national perspective at that time, wasn't getting the love he deserved. I don't think he was realistically ever going to get on the cover of that. Like, I think Mojo could have been in conversations. Yeah. I think Jalen Ramsey, if he had stayed here longer and maybe even someday, it's unlikely, but Richard Sherman-esque, absolutely got personality. People know him. So I think it could have been. I think Gardner Minshew, if he does have this great year and this coming out party and he becomes on the highlight reels and on the red zone and ESPN, I don't think it's a long shot probably because it's Jacksonville. It's a long shot because most people don't expect him to be good. But he would be the guy I would pick to say, hey, he's got a chance. Anybody else have a chance to be on the cover?
Oh, that's a good question.
On the Jags roster? Let's take a break. Think about it for a minute, and we'll get an answer when we come back. Also, breaking news. We'll talk about it. Dale Jr. immortalized. The breaking news on that coming up on Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jacks with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
We got to be mostly clear tonight, nice and cool as we drop into lower 60s, pleasantly warm on a Wednesday, partly sunny with highs in the mid-80s. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, with the guaranteed lowest diamond prices in North Florida. Beards Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center.
I call them 3 shirt days. That's when the summer heat in Jacksonville just sizzles. It's relentless, and you want to be prepared for it. Bold City Heating and Air will help you do that. Nothing worse than sweating in your own home and wondering, hey, what happened to the AC? We've been there before. Your air conditioning unit needs to be ready for the heat. It might need to get serviced. The hot weather is here, and Bold City Heating and Air is here for you, just like they have been for my family the last couple of years. Right now, it's $25 off an annual maintenance. Bold City will thoroughly service, clean, and test your system to ensure it is working efficiently. Then you'll be comfortable this summer. All summer. After the $25 off, it's just $70. Book your maintenance service now and save. Save now, beat the heat. Visit boldcityac.com or call 904-379-1648 to schedule. Mirza and his staff are ready to take care of you and your family. Be bold and beat the heat and make it a one-shirt day, even in the summer heat. Go to boldcityac.com.
Is the summer of 2020 the year you upgrade her diamond? After all we've been through this year, can you think of a better way to make 2020 a year she will always remember in a positive way? Diamonds Direct is here to help with our best ever selection of large, rare diamonds and our most aggressive finance offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest financing with 0 down. So you can upgrade her diamond and spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest charges. And if you bought her original diamond from us, it's even better because we'll give you 110% of your original purchase price to be used towards the upgrade. So you can really go big. If your luxury travel had to be postponed this year, make the journey to Diamonds Direct and let her escape in our world of sparkle and romance. And take advantage of our special summer of 2020 financing offer. 5 years, 0 interest with nothing down on approved credit. Diamonds Direct.
Off Town Center Parkway.
Now more than ever, you need the open road. Windows down, wind in your hair, pure freedom. Then go see our friends over at Arlington Toyota, because their massive construction sale was made to put you behind the wheel today. Think you can't afford a new ride? Think again. At Arlington, you choose 0 down with low payments or no payments until 2021. Get to Arlington today where you can drive away in a Toyota RAV4 XLE for $285 a month with 0 down or no payments until 2021. That's a pre-owned RAV4 for $285 a month with 0 down or no payments till 2021. How about a Toyota Tacoma for $285 a month with 0 down or no payments until 2021? We're talking about a pre-owned Tacoma for $285 a month with 0 down or no payments till 2021. Plus, with Arlington's Credit for Everyone program, if your Beacon score is from 450 to 850, Arlington's getting almost everyone approved. And you get Arlington's 30-day exchange policy on any vehicle you purchase. As always, your safety is Arlington's priority. Go see them today, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota/June offers for full details. If you don't have SafeTouch monitoring, there's a good chance your system is getting monitored from someone's home. Yes, work from home has come to the security industry, but not at SafeTouch Security. At SafeTouch, that is totally unacceptable and doesn't meet UL requirements. At SafeTouch Security, our monitoring center is committed to maintaining our high standards. The only guaranteed response in the alarm industry with an incredible 8-second average. And our two-way communicator provides the very fastest response from the emergency authorities for burglary, medical, and fire. And the SafeTouch crash and smash technology detects crime before it enters the property. Our halo of protection and SafeTouch cameras report crime before it happens many times. And every SafeTouch security system is custom designed for you and comes with our exclusive SafeTouch parts and labor agreement at no charge. SafeTouch security systems have a guaranteed response and are installed by real professionals. Know you and your family are safe and protected the right way. Go to safetouch.com right now for more information. SafeTouch, doing what others can't for over 35 years. State license number EF 0000233.
After a long day, having my dogs greet me at the door with their silly smiles and wagging tails makes me happy. I want to keep that joy with me for years to come. That's why I trust Forever Vets Animal Hospital to keep my pets healthy. Forever Vets was voted 2019's best vet in Jacksonville Magazine's Readers Poll, and it's easy to see why. The affordable wellness plans are tailored to meet all of your pet's changing needs as they grow. Open 7 days a week, Forever Vets friendly staff is available to treat you and your pet with care. They combine extended hours with online booking to allow you to give your pet quality care while accommodating your schedule. Go online to forevervets.com to find which of their 9 locations is nearest you. And don't forget their newest location in Bartram Market. Forever Vets Animal Hospital, keeping your pets happy and healthy forever.
Everyone's loving what Diamonds Direct is doing right now. It's the best stimulus plan ever. 5 years, 0 interest financing on any purchase with no money down. It's Diamonds Direct's way of helping you make your money go further as we all look forward to better days. Just pick any item in Diamonds Direct showcases. Get the amazing value price you know we're known for. Make no down payment and spread your payments over 5 years without paying a dime in interest. That means a $6,000 designer ring is yours for just $100 a month. This makes everything more affordable at a time when we need it most. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, bands, colored gemstones, designer fashion jewelry. Take the price, divide by 60, and that's your payment. You can even finance the sales tax. Celebrate summer, celebrate life, celebrate love with Diamonds Direct's most spectacular offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest with nothing down. Now for a limited time on approved credit. Diamonds Direct.
Off Town Center Parkway.
For the ones we trust to always be there. For the ones caring for others. For the ones who keep things going, no matter where they are. In extraordinary times, extraordinary people step up, like the ones standing guard and standing on the front lines, and the ones who are staying apart while still working together. With your efforts, we will get through this. We're grateful for all you do. Visit Grainger.com for resources that can help as you create your recovery plan. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Redbox has top entertainment when you need it most. Watch as 12 strangers wake up in the middle of nowhere for one very specific purpose: The Hunt, starring Betty Gilpin and Hilary Swank. Make it a movie night and visit redbox.com for all the ways to watch.
When times are tough, we veterans take care of our own. If you or your loved one needs emotional support or connections to community resources, call the Florida Veterans Support Line at 1-844-MY-FL-VET.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from Action Sports Jackson, ESPN 690. Social distancing doesn't mean disconnecting. If you're working from home, keep tabs on the world of sports and Action Sports Jax on your smart speaker. Tell your Amazon Echo or Google Home, play ESPN 690.
Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jax.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
None of those players were in the facilities. All of those players, fortunately, have had either mild symptoms or were asymptomatic. And I think our protocols are working. And again, we expect that we're going to have positive tests. That's part of the increased testing that we'll be going through. And that's something that we just want to make sure that our protocols are working. And I think to date, we're seeing very positive reactions in the sense of making sure that we respond quickly, protect the personnel that may be impacted by that, and others that may be in contact with them.
That's Commissioner Roger Goodell about COVID-19. But I mean, come on. They don't have anybody in the building.
Yeah.
They don't have players in the building. I mean, they got some people in the building, but come on. I mean, it's even too early. That just happened recently. It's hard to even know if there's been a backlash or increased testing or positive cases with even the folks that are in the building, which is pretty minimal at the time, and definitely not players. So players haven't been allowed in. So I think it's a hard question to answer right now. We'll see what happens with the NFL. I've never thought we'd talk video games so much.
I know, man.
But had
even
a TED
more
Talk.
Music. Crazy.
Got off the couch.
Do you feel better now or not? Are you still? Yeah,
I mean, the show's still going on.
I'm just saying.
I did feel like we talked
from your mindset.
Yeah,
okay.
You know, it's like one of those things where it's like you're a little hesitant to talk about I know it's not the coolest thing to talk about in the world, but now that it's off my chest, I feel fantastic.
Good.
Like, I feel like I lost 10 pounds.
And hopefully we still have an audience tomorrow. We'll see. Because let's be honest, a lot of our audience, I'm sure, plays video games.
Yeah, and
it's a great.
A lot of my friends, I
decompress.
think, and neighbors probably do too. And
Sure.
now I don't know if I'll ever have them again.
Yeah. Neighbors, acquaintances. Yeah.
There goes that cul-de-sac beverage.
Yeah. Well, at least you got people that call on the phone though. You can have your conversations with.
And plenty of time.
Who does that? I mean, that's got to be a generational thing, though, real quick, right?
Oh, no, it's no doubt. Like I say this to that, it would be your age group is great. Yeah. I say this all the time in our sports office. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if we admit this enough, like because I'm not in higher up meetings, but let's just say in any business, do we communicate or understand how people communicate that work with us? Yeah. And I think the age groups are so different. Like in our office, we have 55 plus, we have 35, we have like 28 or 30, which is not a huge gap, but then me like 43. Well, there's a difference between 55 plus, 43, and 35 for sure. 28, 29, 30, and 35 maybe emerge a little closer. But just like 55 plus, we talk daily on the phone.
Of course, you got George Washington writing out the Declaration of Independence.
Right.
You know, it's different.
I talk daily to GW.
Yeah.
On the phone.
Sure.
Right?
Okay.
Takes them, sometimes completely takes them about a week to get back on a text or just totally misses it.
Okay.
Email, doesn't know how to hit reply all kind of guy.
I'm kind of in that boat, though, too. But, yeah. I feel you, G-Dub. I feel you, man.
I'm just kidding. But again, like this isn't just one person of experience that's over in that category, then I feel like I've been able to adjust and do a little bit of everything. Like I'll talk on the phone, I'll text, and I'll email. Stuart is like 35, just turned 35.
Yeah.
Not a big fan of talking on the phone.
Yeah.
But very good on texts and emails and everything else, but not a fan of talking on the phone.
And I'm kind of that same boat.
And that would be in your boat. And I think Marcel would probably fit in that as well.
Yeah.
But like you're in that boat. Like you don't check your email. You have 40,000 of them.
Oh, Brent, don't shortchange me, man.
Now you do text
52,866.
52,000. Congratulations on reaching a milestone.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Like you guys are good on the text chain when we go back and forth. You're not on your phone as much as most people are.
I'm not.
You kind of put it down.
No, but if I hear my phone go off with a text message, I'll definitely get back to you.
Yeah. But you don't talk on the phone. So like you are like Stuart in that sense.
Yeah.
Like, do you call your mom?
Oh, I talk to mom every single night. We do FaceTiming though.
Okay.
So she'll usually she either reads my son a story or my son will read her a story. But we talk to her every night.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I mean, I call my mom. My mom's like not on any of the stuff like Facebook or anything, so I call my mom. Yeah, but like she doesn't know how to text. That's for sure.
Let me ask you this then, and I get it, man. We're getting in depth right now in terms of the TED Talks, but I think it's an interesting question. So, for instance, you do things a certain way, right? And George Washington, he does things a certain way.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have been in the game a lot longer than the younger kids, right? You've been in the game a lot longer than me. So, do you feel like it's your duty to try to get them to adapt to your way of doing things since you're kind of the elder? Or is it like, man, I have to adapt because everything's changing? But, I mean, do you think it's right?
Because I think I communicate the most with everybody, so I think it's my job to do it. It's just an interesting study. I don't think there's anything wrong with the study. In fact, I always said, like, if I got fired tomorrow, and don't start this somebody without my help, but people love consultants.
Yeah.
And I would start like a communication consultant business. Like, you have to understand, like in your newsroom or in other places, that you have varying levels of age and how people do it. And I said it one time to a UNF class, and it was funny because, like, I think it was like a high school thing. Yeah, it was a high school thing, and they wanted to get in the business, and they were doing this thing. And
Can you imagine Brent's trying to use all this like cool high school lingo? Like,
very cool.
If you guys want to be lit and everything, listen to me. All right, let's go and keep it 100.
But I'm telling them about the communication.
You can bet on this.
I'm telling about this, and it was funny because like I think a couple of teachers were there, and she got offended by me saying like, well, I'm 55 and I text or something like that. And I was like, okay, like then very good. You do. But I'm saying in the most, like you can kind of categorize people. And that's not even the point.
Yeah.
A 38-year-old might like to talk on the phone more than text or email, but you have to know is the point.
Yeah.
We all communicate. We have all these different ways to communicate. And we don't do it very well most of the time.
For sure.
Because of that. That was the whole point of the conversation.
Yeah.
All right, we got way up. Man,
Sorry,
TED
man.
Talk, 5 o'clock
man.
hour.
Sorry.
Man, if we had charged for 99 cents for this hour, we'd be rolling in the dough.
Coos, get on that, man. Hey, everybody, it's Coos from the radio. Just want to let you guys know your time has ran out. Please give me your credit card information.
Sorry
and I'll
to
get back
inform
to
your subscription has run out. You need another $1 to continue.
I said that I think with a big season, Gardner Minshew could make the cover of Madden.
Sure.
Who would be your Jag someday to make? Maybe not next year. Someday make the cover of Madden. Give me one.
You know what? Obviously, it's got to have a personality. You have to be flashy. You can make those highlight types of plays. Unfortunately, you don't see those guys too much on defense. So go ahead and give me DJ Chark. You know, I mean, listen.
I thought you were going to go Josh Allen, but you said defense.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, defense is hard to come by, and so is wide receiver. But Kelvin Johnson, Odell Beckham Jr. literally made the cover off of one good catch. You know, and then that was the career of Odell Beckham Jr. for that year for Madden. So I think if DJ Chark can put together like a crazy year and obviously have some cool end zone dances, you never know.
Okay, how about in the NFL, real quick? We got to rifle through these things, but who is the next cover? 2022.
2022. You go first. I'm still pondering mine.
Okay, here's. I had a couple of guys in mind.
Yeah.
It wasn't Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
But that would be an interesting one.
For sure.
Right? That would be more on the Peyton Hillis front.
Absolutely.
What if, like, Drew Brees got hurt and he has to come in and play quarterback and stuff like that? Now, they have Jameis, though. So,
but then you make
it's
an
unlikely.
argument. Michael Thomas as well, though, if he can repeat what he did last year.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I was leaning toward Russell Wilson. You said Aaron Rodgers has never been on it, which is fascinating.
Yeah.
But I almost think he's getting too old to be with the cool kids.
Sure.
I wonder if Russell Wilson and he's married to Sierra, right? So what if you put Sierra on and you mix as well?
All of a sudden it's like Madden / like the life. So
I mean, why not, right?
Since this isn't MLB, the show where you go home and like have to live your life as well, man. Okay, I like that though. I think obviously too the Seahawks are poised for probably a big season. If he has success, MVP candidate. Well, then obviously Russell Wilson's a good guy. I'm gonna go a little bit of an underdog. Actually, two of them, a couple sleepers. Show the running back some love again. I'm not going Derrick Henry. I'm going either Christian McCaffrey or even Saquon Barkley. I think those two guys are the human highlight reels, right? Christian McCaffrey, especially last year, put up record-type numbers. I think Saquon Barkley is one play away from obviously breaking it loose. So I think either Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey. And two teams that aren't really going to be that good, we think, next year.
By the way,
up-and-coming year.
Yeah, true. There's a moratorium on saying this guy's name, but I'd be lying if I did not say if this guy has the season that people expect.
I see it coming. Yeah,
Kyler Murray is a clear choice to be on. And by the way, I would put him almost like Bo Jackson-esque. And I'd put a bat in his hand as well.
No, here's what you do. You put Murray on the cover and he's flexing and everything, and then Kyle Kingsbury in the back on his couch with his feet up in there with that fireplace.
It's the fireplace.
Madden 2022 draft mode.
That's good. Yeah, that's really good.
Come
really
on, man.
Good.
Come
I like
on.
it. There's no doubt. Like, I wonder if even in this year's version of any kind of draft mode, if Kingsbury makes it with a fireplace.
Well, there's like all of a sudden there's like a little side mission. You got to go to the coach's house and go over the game plan, and you go to Kingsbury's house and you go to his fireplace.
Hey,
absolutely.
Shame on us, but about a half hour ago, in the last half hour, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Named to the NASCAR Hall of Fame. No surprise, but big honor for Dale Jr., one of the most popular drivers of all time, and obviously the Earnhardt name is the Earnhardt name.
Yep.
I think we said this last year. Remember we had Marty Smith on, and it was Florida Georgia week.
Yep.
And I thought he was great on Dale Earnhardt Jr. Dale Earnhardt Jr. to me is one of the most fascinating athletes of our lifetime.
Absolutely.
He really is. And he has gone from a guy that seemed a bit prickly, from a long view, to a guy that seems like one of the coolest dudes in the world. Like,
well,
I think a lot of people always loved him.
Yeah.
I'm just saying from a media perspective, even Twitter alone. He is one of the best Twitter followers and a guy who just jumped on like 3 or 4 years ago.
And it's a testament to the type of guy that he is, right? Because he lived under one of the biggest shadows of all time in any kind of professional sport, and he became his own man. Very impressive.
And he has his critics for, was he as good as everybody says he is? Bottom line is he carried the Earnhardt name for another 2 decades.
And he's still his own man.
And he did it in style, and he did it with a lot of integrity. And again, I think we saw him grow up. Like, we saw him transform. I think he's one of the most cool, fascinating athletes of my lifetime. I really do. And it comes from NASCAR. I think he's underrated as the persona and athlete that he is. He's in the Hall of Fame. Now, we'll have more of that coming up on TV tonight on CBS 47 and Fox 30. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Go play your video games. Go wear that rubber ring. Or tattoo.
It is Call of Duty night tonight at the Lane residence.
Call of Duty.
Yeah. Brent,
we talked a lot of marriage today here on the show. That and video games. Thanks for listening.
Talking divorce.
Thanks for hanging. I hope you come back tomorrow.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane of Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. If you didn't catch today's episode, I'm not mad at you, not even disappointed, but check out what you missed.
People used to tell me all the time,